greater thing. We just like put a lot of effort into giving the individual characters and Harold's social environment a lot of depths, and that ultimately makes for like
Lo pongo yo por aquí el evento, aunque no lo haga con Enoch y con Book.
Ready for what?
I made a breakthrough discovery at the Arboretum last night. You remember the last batch of bloomy rocks?
Oh, the really small ones from the last intake? The ones with the strange shapes and the little holes and...
The blue ones, yes. Turns out their surface composition doesn't just give us clues about our immediate aquatic environs. I think they've picked up some influences from outer space as well.
We create a relatable science fiction world instead of having a super distant sci-fi future where things are so different that it might as well be magic.
It may have started with one man, but it took the hearts and minds of many.
Muy buena a todos.
Dream a reality. That dream began at the height of the Cold War, when the world was on the very brink of annihilation. He conceived of an ark-like spacefaring ship.
Muchas gracias, Doble, por la
After
geometría.
200 years, we finally arrived at our destination, only to find that the promising, watery planet contained no habitable landmass and dense toxic gases in the atmosphere.
He estado potando, gente. He estado malísimo. Después de comer me he puesto a vomitar. No sé qué mierda me ha pasado. y me he echado a dormir y me he quedado reventado. Le he avisado a Book y a Enoch de no hacer el evento porque ya empezaba tarde y no quiero tenerlo con las cosas no bien preparadas, así que por eso les he avisado y le he dicho que lo dejamos, que no quiero estar haciéndoles perder el tiempo porque estaba montando enchufando las cosas a las 4, ¿sabes?
Filter rocks from older times that have come from the filters, and I feel like you might have one?
Okay, look and listen here, Longy Long Pants. I shut the store for a reason, you know?
While we have this overarching storyline in our game with multiple story arcs, Harold is only one part of this bigger story, and we always kind of focus on Harold's personal interactions, relationships and friendships of Harold.
Harold! Good timing. You can explain things to the Major, can't you?
Harold, come here and explain things.
So, Harry, how's life been treating you?
You know, keeping fishy.
What?
Keeping busy.
Okay.
Harold.
Is everything okay?
And therefore really concentrated on providing a lot of depth in those characters for players to ultimately explore.
Harold, won't you stay? The jog team won't be the same without you.
Yeah, venga, Harold. You can't leave now, I just got here. Jog team, jog team, jog team.
Go jog team.
Come on, Harold. Keep up.
Deep breaths, Harold. You're doing great.
Guys, have you got any tips?
Just keep on moving, Harold. You never know when you'll have to slow down. So keep going while you can.
Molan mucho los escenarios.
Yeah, that is so cute.
5, 6, and step up foot. 2 counts. Pulling it down, relax it. Here we go, side to side. Side. 2, pull it down, and take it forward. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine setting off across a vast desert on a rite of passage, with no one to share the long and lonely trip but your trusty
Esta es la chica que cantó ayer en la
On
canción
your journey to the
de
horizon, you will traverse a world of beauty and mystery, full of spectacular ruins, both ancient and futuristic. This is the joy of exploration, the thrill of discovery. And if you listen to the stories of the people
Japanese
and places
breakfast.
you encounter, perhaps a chance to learn what you came here to understand. This is Sable.
No, yo ya todos los directos los voy a hacer tranquilo porque paso de calentarme la cabeza. Pero es que encima me he puesto malo. O sea, que encima hoy me ha pillado que me he puesto malo. Pero vamos, que se me pasará en un rato. Que yo cuando vomito y eso se me quita al rato se me quita. Y ya me encuentro normal.
Shedworks is us. I'm Greg, this is Daniel, and we started out in my parents' shed.
Gracias, Cachorren, por la sub.
Hola Caliebre, últimamente estoy pasando por una buena racha y cada vez que veo tus streams me dan ganas de aplastarme los huevos con una prensa hidráulica. Gracias por todo.
Justo al revés, ¿eh? Justo al revés de lo que se suele escuchar. Muchas gracias por esos 19 mesazos, Cachorren.
The gliding is what Sable embarks on as the story starts, and it's something that everybody who comes of age in the world of Sable does. It's how you find out what you want to become in life. Leaving your home behind and experiencing the world, meeting people, trying things, helping folks in need, and ultimately deciding what do I want to devote my life to.
So much of the people here, the communities here, are defined by their vocation. You know, the desert that they live in is inhospitable, and so they've kind of had to come together and had to form groups around resources. And so Sable kind of goes from place to place, meeting different societies and cultures built around completely different experiences of the same environment.
Tu suscripción ha cumplido 28 meses a EAE.
It means that she has to be a sponge, right? She's trying
Muchas gracias, señor X, por ese pedazo de suscripción. Gracias por esos 28 mesazos.
And I think that's what makes the story so fun. It really is about the places that you go, the people that you see, and the experiences that you have that not only shape her gliding, but shape her.
My dad and Daniel's dad went to architecture school together.
Joder, habla como un puto robot el colega.
Across a bit in that period. Your mum taught me art at secondary school.
Son lapiceros, son del Ikea, los tengo yo.
Sort of university age, that was when indie games have really kind of taken off as a creative sort of field. Started to think about.
Paso de poner un tuit, Raúl, sí, total.
I studied architecture, Daniel studied comparative literature, but neither of us had any experience making games before we started making games. We kind of went to the pub one time and had a chat about how because we had none of these industry.
No sé qué coño de acústica tiene la habitación que suena como un puto robot del colega.
Experience, we thought we'd start our own internship, do our own internship.
2 años ya, pero si se me ha pasado volando, liebre hermosa menor que 3.
Muchas gracias, Loba Grisu, por esa suscripción. Gracias por esos 24 mesazos.
Here now, still going. Yeah. The thing that we've really tried to focus on is exploration, and we've kind of geared every design decision that we could around that focus.
Yo tweet no voy a poner. El que quiera que venga a verlo y el que no, den por culo.
There's no real danger to the player.
Ya paso, ya.
It is quite relaxing in a way, but that doesn't make it less curious a world to explore, I think.
I think the unique thing about it is how lonely it is, and the pace of the game is very laid back.
¿Qué es lo que no me moló del evento de ayer? Pues tampoco fue tan malo el evento. Si tuviese que decir algo que no me moló, pues que a lo mejor hubo demasiado, o sea, pocos exclusivos. Me esperaba más exclusivos. O sea, más exclusivo, más World Premiere, más anuncios reales de cosas que no haya visto antes. Que prácticamente todo eran cosas que ya se habían visto. Me has dicho, a ver, lo que más me moló. Ah, vale, te he contestado justo lo contrario, entonces. Lo que más me moló, perdona, Nosguillo. Lo que más me... He vomitado hace 30 minutos, ¿vale? Por favor. Lo que más me moló...
We brought Japanese breakfast onto the project really early on, like before we really started it, and so our music has kind of been there from the very beginning. So that's been
Elden Ring, no.
The music itself has been a really big part of shaping the direction of the game.
Aunque lo haya puesto en el número 1 del top, es simplemente porque era el único World Premiere potente. Lo que más me moló fue... Estoy entre el Metal Slug Tactics No estoy malo, Zescufu, no está. Simplemente que me ha sentado mal lo que he comido y lo he echado, ya está, no pasa nada. O sea, me he echado básicamente he comido, me he echado la siesta y como no he dejado tiempo, pues claro, me he despertado con el estómago revuelto, entonces lo he echado todo, ya está. Pero que eso no pasa nada, no estoy malo, ni tengo fiebre, ni nada.
In the Gothic fairy tale Lost in Random, the world is divided into 6 shadowy realms.
Sí, igual Marian, estamos viendo ya el de Tribeca.
Every citizen's fate is determined by the roll of a cursed die. You play as Even, a young girl who's set out on a quest to save her beloved sister, Odd. And with the help of your companion, a magical living die named Dicey, you'll find yourself battling your way through a dark wonderland, and if you want to win the game, you'll have to embrace the chaos and find a way to tip the odds in your favor. From the Odd and Even minds of Zoink Games, here is Lost in Random.
Sí, el Metal Slug puede ser
Lost in Random is being developed here at Zoink Games in Gothenburg, Sweden. We're about 80 developers.
Puede ser que se pare el
A few
director.
different projects, but Lost in Random is definitely
El de Evil Dead me gusta la idea, ¿eh? Al final es cooperativo y cooperación. O sea, perdón, cooperación y jugador contra jugador. Tienes como un equipo de 4 personas con el que estás cooperando para poder pasarte la pantalla, pero por otro lado hay más de un malo. O sea, como que hay un grupo de gente que también está luchando contra tu grupo. Es como una lucha de equipos. No es DVD. En el DVD es un cooperativo asíncrono, que se llama, o multi-asíncrono. Este es como una lucha de equipos. Equipos del mal contra equipos asimétricos, coño, asíncrono, así que asimétrico. Equipos del mal contra equipos del bien. Así que mejora, a mí me gusta el concepto. Jornur, muchas gracias por esa pedazo de suscripción, oye. Muchísimas gracias por apoyar el canal, de verdad, ¿eh? Yo también, a Chekhov.
Are a really fun duo. Even is this quick to anger, but she's not one to hold grudges, but she can easily get into a fight, and Dice is there to hold her back.
Ah, un solo jugador posee a todos los demás enemigos. Los va poseyendo y los va utilizando. O sea, no es... Pues entonces ya sí es demasiado DVD, claro. Por eso ya no me atrae tanto.
No, Dicey. They should be scared of us. Right?
We're really in love with this project. It's a great story, it's great actors, it's the innovative gameplay, and it just feels like everything is just so perfectly packaged together around the dice and this universe.
And the style of the game is kind of like something out of a Laika or Tim Burton movie. It's really everything we've dreamt of doing all these years. It's really great, and we can't wait for everybody to play it.
In the interactive thriller 12 Minutes, you play as a man who becomes trapped in a time loop, replaying the same 12 minutes of one fateful evening in his apartment over and over again.
¿Cuántos actores, no? Han
Each time you're
sacado
gonna have the chance to make new choices, learn
a
what led
presentar
up to
juegos.
those terrible events, and perhaps even escape them. It's a story that's not just about how choices matter, but about how some stories can only truly be told when they can change, even just a little bit, every single time you retell them. It was a joy to participate in this project and lend my voice to the main character, and I hope you have as much fun playing it as I did making it. I am very proud to introduce a game where the end is only the beginning. 12 minutes.
Sí, Jonur, sí. Veré la IGN también.
I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Ese tengo muchas ganas de probarlo.
This is an outfit for a newborn. You bought it this morning. You wanted to surprise me.
I'm sorry.
You're pregnant.
You know?
I know because you already gave it to me. This has happened before.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
Someone is coming. He's going to hurt us. He says you killed your father. I need to know what happened.
Why are you doing this? My father died.
Died of a heart attack?
No, I didn't have anything to do with...
Any second now, he's gonna knock on that door. Help me.
This isn't happening. This can't be happening.
Police, open up.
Brutal, ¿eh?
My name is Luis. I'm the creator of 12 Minutes. I grew up watching a lot of film. They always captivated me, and I tried to understand what were they doing, the pacing, the colors, the lighting, the composition, in order to create these emotions in me. What are the tools we have as game designers that allow us to do similar things? I think the biggest challenge is that usually when we think about narrative, we think about a linear progression. And in an interactive game, at least in 12 minutes, that information can come at any moment depending on what you've done.
What's the occasion?
I'll tell you over dessert.
All right, I'm ready to get wowed by this dessert.
Just give me 1 second.
You know, I'm fascinated by the idea of if you knew what's going to happen, what would you do differently? 12 Minutes is an interactive thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. You come home from work, you're having an evening with your wife, then this cop shows up, he accuses your wife of murder.
Hands behind your back, let's go.
You try to stop him, you get beat up.
Somebody help!
Only to wake up back to the start of the evening. And then you have to use the knowledge of what you know it's going to happen to try to change the outcome and break the loop.
Look, I know this sounds weird, but the day's repeating itself.
What do you mean, repeating itself?
I'm living the same chunk of time over and over again.
Uh-huh.
The reason the game sticks to a bird's eye view is because
entiendo que el sistema de diálogo todavía no lo tienen hecho y por eso están poniendo ese texto horrendo.
First person camera, and I wanted to create something that is very accessible. So by doing a bird's eye view, you have like a floor plan of the apartment that you just click where to move. There was also the challenge of having the voices convey the emotions without seeing the faces. If someone is really stressed out, you won't have any facial expression, so you have to feel the stress in the throat.
Particularly because you don't see our faces in it, you really are projecting whatever you're feeling onto the character. There's no facial expressions that are instructing you. Where you go in the game will, I think, depend on you as an individual.
I just need some time to myself. Come on, babe, please, stop it.
Es verdad que no hay
And if there's enough
faciales,
subtlety in the
todo se ve
voice
de
acting,
arriba.
in the movement, your brain will feel the rest. Because actors think in terms of motivation.
Depende mucho el trabajo de los dobladores a la hora de expresar lo que quieren expresar.
Figuring those things out allows the characters to become
Tiene gente potente, tiene actores famosos para hacer las voces.
Look, I didn't mean to. This is never what I wanted.
No, come on. I warned you.
Look, you can't do this. It will be different things for different people. There are so many versions of the story that will either reveal something or show something, and you as the player are revealing how you deal with truth, how you deal with other people's truth.
working in interactive medium, you can make a story that becomes very personal to you, right? You're not passively looking at what's happening and processing. You're actually deciding. By allowing you to participate, to change it, to mold the way it's built, in a way it becomes part of it. It's like you're part of the creative process that is happening. And because the game doesn't really give you a direction, the decisions you make are based on who you are.
I'll prove it.
Yeah, great. Let's see it. Wow me.
That allows you to explore a side of yourself that maybe you wouldn't otherwise.
Silently repeat these phrases.
El texto lo habrán puesto porque les han para poder preparar la presentación.
May you be free from fear. May you know peace and joy.
Willem Dafoe, tío, que no veas tú la peña, ¿eh?
If you're not familiar with The Big Con, a coming-of-age comedy adventure about a teen in the 1990s, well, let me explain. You play as Allie, a high school junior who learns that her mom is about to lose her video rental store to loan sharks unless they come up with over $90,000 ASAP. Well, there's clearly only one thing you can do. Run away from band camp, head to the mall, and become a con artist. I mean, that's just common sense. From the decade that gave us the World Wide Web and so much plaid, I give you The Big Con.
The Big Con. The Big Con. The Big Con. The Big Con.
¿Qué pollas es esto, tío?
Hey, I'm Dave Proctor from Mighty Owl Studios, and I am the game director and writer on The Big Con. Mighty Owl is a company from Toronto. We're made up of some really awesome devs from this city. George Degenkamp, Saffron Aurora, Tabby Rose, Karina Diaz, and Yash Kulkarni is our core team. The Big Con is a adventure game where you hustle your way across 90s America as a teenage con artist. But it's all for a good cause. You are trying to save your mom's video store. So you learn to pickpocket, wear disguises, talk your way into and out of trouble. All for that good, not so good cause of making sure your family business stays afloat. You know, one of the toughest things about making this game was selling people on the non-violent crime aspect of it. Games with guns don't bat an eye, but you know, the moment you have to steal an old lady's wallet, people start to think maybe there's something wrong with you, which is fine. That's part of the fun of making this. It really helps us make something that, you know, challenges people and challenges ourselves, and hopefully helps us find a little bit of in-between in a story like this. Ultimately, Allie's doing crimes for a good cause, and you know, writing a funny and heartfelt story kind of helps justify those actions. So, you know, on the one hand, we get to make a game that we've never seen before, which is a con artist video game, and on the other hand, we get to kind of couch that in a conversation about small businesses surviving, and you know, a story about a mother and a daughter. And between that and the 90s, it really informed like what we were capable of coming up with in terms of this relationship. Like, who is Linda, Allie's mom, who raised her as a single mom and kept a business together and is tough as hell, and what is that person like, and what is her daughter like? How do they play off against each other? Allie can,
Estoy cagando.
She can be a teenager, she can be rough, she can be sarcastic. And this is something that we really wanted to see, and I think it brings a lot of truth to the game.
Eso es lo que tengo que decir.
If it makes us laugh, it goes in the game. That was our rule. Like, we really want you to explore and find stuff.
Yo también puedo llevarme el stream al baño si quiero. Puedo abrirlo en el móvil y sigo desde ahí.
Conversations with people that, you know, some people might see, some people might not. It makes us happy knowing that it's in there.
O sea, la estética han conseguido que sea muy noventera, ¿vale?
And
pero
it, I think, really builds on the feeling of like building your own adventure.
Mira, aquí le pregunta por qué la quiere
The
la
90s
estética
are just
noventera.
they're not as done in video games, but we wanted to do it. We wanted to get in there. the 90s are a time when you don't have cell phones, you don't have the internet, you don't have the ability to look this stuff up if you need to, and it makes it a little bit more believable that you can be a traveling con artist, which I think is
que no existían los teléfonos, no, que la gente
and
no
so,
sabía
you
tenerlo.
know, with the 90s means that we also get to do this ribbon, colorful palette that Saffron put together.
Hola,
I
Borja.
watched a lot of cartoons growing up. Hey Arnold, Doug, and The Simpsons. They sort of set the foundation for this cartoon 90s aesthetic. Bright, contrasting colors, exaggerated features, and like fun geometric patterns. So Allie is a very does what she wants character. She wears her cap backwards. That to me was always the signature look of the cool leader type character that you'd see in a lot of cartoons. You know, she has the ripped jeans, the baggy t-shirt, and she also wears her plaid shirt wrapped around her waist, which is, you know, a very, I think, 90s style.
The references from Burblos to music or grunge or you know, what movies were popular and like it just we don't want to beat you over the head with nostalgia, but we want to bring you there. We want you to be
No
on
sé,
this
es que, a ver,
journey
es que
with-
exactamente no sé qué coño de juego están haciendo. Se supone que tienes que cometer hurtos y tienes que cometer historias pero por el bien, no por el mal.
Okay. I just want to finish off by saying thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this, and to be, you know, in the presence of such incredible games, and really just incredible international talent. It means a lot to a pretty stoked team from Toronto. So we hope to see you there, and we may try to steal the award anyways.
Mira, tribecafilm.com. Porque esto es realmente la primera vez que Tribeca son premios para el cine. Lo que pasa que es la primera vez que hacen un showcase para videojuegos. Es la primera vez que van a premiar videojuegos en la historia del festival de Tribeca. Es como si de repente, ¿qué te digo yo? La festival de Sitges, pues se pone a dar premios para videojuegos, ¿no? Y monta esto. Mira, aquí tenéis el calendario. Tribeca Games. Y ya nos vemos ya después el sábado. ¿Qué es lo que venía ahora? No, que va, si tenemos. Hoy tenemos hasta tarde. Bueno, tarde, relativamente. Hoy se supone que tenemos. Koch Media y la de IGN. ¿Cuándo empezaba la de Koch Media? Es lo que quiere saber la gente. La gente quiere saberlo. La gente quiere saber cuándo empieza Koch Media. A las 9. En unos 10 minutos. Pues mira, vamos a hacer una cosa. Vamos a aprovechar. En 10 minutos empieza Koch Media, ¿vale? Hola, Nubuser, hermoso. Muchas gracias por la geometría. Sí, bueno, ya estoy mejorcito. Lo que pasa es que sí voy a ir al baño, ¿eh? Voy a ir al baño, voy a aprovechar este ratillo para ir al baño. Y después vengo. No, enfermo no estoy. Simplemente que me ha sentado mal la comida hoy y lo he echado todo. Y entonces me he echado a dormir y me he despertado más tarde. Pero estoy bien. He comido algo buenísimo. He comido un plato de... Encima lo que me da coraje es que encima era un plato de la mamá buenísimo. Pero ha sido mi culpa por echarme a dormir justo después de comer. Porque era una carne de rabo de toro. Con papitas, hecho por la mamá en el horno. Buenísimo, no te puedes imaginar lo bueno que estaba. Y me ha dado mucha pena echarlo. Me ha dado mucha pena. Bueno, ahora vengo. Os dejo con la música súper chula de los 90.
¡Ia, ia, ia! ¡Ia!
Bueno, a ver. ¿Qué es lo que ha pasado aquí? Esta gente no va a emitir el de Koch Media. Todo muy triste. Koch Media. Sí, Sampa, lo que pasa es que los subs se van cayendo. Ya verás tú cuando se caigan los regalos que pasaron de 500. Ya verás tú la gracia. De un día para otro va a haber 300. Y va a decir, ¿cómo? ¿Dónde está Koch Media? ¿Esto qué es? Koch Media y IGN Gaming.
Os quiero mucho a todos.
No te conozco de nada. Koch Media. ¿No hay ninguna oficial? Arkeleon, pásamelo por privy.
Pues toma por Bora, siempre fiel al Lidl Ararar, ya casi año y medio no ve.
Muchas gracias, Sampa. Muchas gracias por esa sub. Gracias por esos 17 mesazos. Tremendibrilísimol. A ver, ¿este cuál es? The Game Awards. Hace Koch Media. ¿Ah? Curioso, ¿no? The Game Awards. Voy a cambiar el título.
que se me caduda el mío
Hello there, guys. My
patita
name is Opal
siempre.
Cadman, and welcome. Today I have 3
Lorenion de Original, muchas gracias por esa suscripción, gracias por sus 31 mesazos. Que te como la cara.
premium gaming label. Number 2 is to take a deep dive into some of the games coming to that label. And finally, number 3 is to show you what the new label
¿Puedo
will be
bajar con
getting
el
up
teclado el
to
volumen?
in the streaming world. I want to welcome streamers who are co-streaming this today. Hello. Some of you guys are guys who I have looked up to and watched for many years. And speaking of people who I've looked up to for many years, I am so proud to introduce Jeff Keighley, who will be helping me co-host us through this entire list of games. Jeff, how's it going?
Thanks, Opal. It is so great to be here with you for the first ever live stream from Prime Matter. I was honored yesterday to reveal the label to the world at the Summer Game Fest kickoff event. And wow, you've got a lot of games there in that sizzle, over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, to talk to a lot of the developers. But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off.
Tiene los ojos muertos.
Announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
De tanto trabajar.
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means. Let's begin. Is that who you are?
My purpose makes me who I am.
I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile.
Being relied on to succeed where others would fail.
Este es el batiburrillo que nos pusieron la otra vez. Este es el batiburrillo que pusieron en mitad del Summer Game Festival, que no sabía nadie que venía esto. Que venía esto. Y nos lo pusieron.
Prime Matter.
Yes, guys, you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's just the start for Prime Matter. But before we get into these incredible games, what I like to call the juicy bits, I want to talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games from amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influences of global studios and their different approaches to game making. The new label will lead through creativity and expression with games that enthrall players with large.
Van a sacar un nuevo sello que se llama Prime Matter para englobar los pepinacos de Koch Media.
The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming experts. The team behind are gamers at heart, working with such a wide range of passionate developers producing games together by gamers for gamers.
Vale, sí, muy bien.
And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video. That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about Painkiller.
A ver, ¿qué me enseñas de Painkiller?
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller coming, and Todd is joining me now to maybe give us a few more details.
Escúchame, Carviller no, ¿eh? Painkiller. Painkiller. Carviller no lo pone.
First of all, I love that you and Tim Willits are there, continuing to build out Saber. And Painkiller was a franchise. You and I are both OG. We remember it was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, it's been a while. Closer to 2 decades than 1.
My God. All right. Well, but it's one of those classic games.
Ese también tiene boca de no tener dientes.
Prime Matter perspective, you've been in the industry like me all those years, and we remember that game. Why was this a franchise that you guys wanted to sort of bring back?
Well, Painkiller, when I played it back in the early 2000s, this is a game that had dark, a little twisted, intense, cool guns. These are the things that, kind of hit the nail on the head of what appeals to me in a video game, both as, as a fan and then also as a publisher at Saber. So, we're hoping to capture those same sort of elements and bring those into the new game.
Yeah, you guys are certainly masters of doing shooters from all your time at id, and Painkiller, does have a lot of that DNA of fast-paced action with a little bit of a twist to it. And the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting. Brand new publisher, brand new label. What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label and it's such a diverse lineup of companies and partners around it? I know you guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't. And, I think that within the Embracer Group, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top. And so Koch Media is, wanting to expand their publishing. And I think that, the name they chose, Prime Matter, sort of is, it's sort of like the primordial soup of putting together.
¿Cómo se llama este señor?
So, it kind of makes me think of this is what we do when we make video games. You start with Pixel 0, and then at the end of the day, you make a game. So I feel like that, that kind of resonates with hopefully the type of experiences that we're going to be providing, not just within Prime Matter and working with them between Saber and our partnership, but, across the Embracer Group as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they have a lot of games in development, but the fact that you are bringing back Painkiller is really exciting. And I know, fans, of course, want to know a little bit about, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play. Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development now on this.
Yeah, super early. And, if anything that I would share, I'd probably get assassinated for back home once I got back to the developer.
Es que creo que en Painkiller iba a participar uno de los que hizo el Doom 2016, el resurgimiento de Doom, entre otros títulos potentes. Y no sé si es este señor, pero me parece, no lo sé.
Coming soon from the team at Saber, published by Prime Matter. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
I really can't wait to hear more about Painkiller.
No, este Painkiller no.
And Tim and the team at Saber are working on it.
Tim, creo que es este.
Something pretty special when they are ready to share more. So, exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12 games under development right at this minute. We're so excited to show you guys what us and the developers have been up to. However, before you see some of the content that we show you today, I do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release.
Creo que es Tim Collins el autor de Painkiller, y creo que era el que estaba metido también en los de Doom y en otros juegos que han sido bastante exitosos. Es que estuve leyendo algo de que el tío comentaba que había una fórmula a la hora de desarrollar los juegos, que es que no tienes que... Ah, no, espérate. No. Estaba trabajando en el de... En el de Evil Dead también. Painkiller es de Saber Interactive.
Get a little more than they bargained for, and your character has to deal with her own personal issues as well as the cosmic terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So, what type of genre is this game?
I mean, it's a bit hard to pin down with the with all the different influences and styles of gameplay, but I'd say we're probably a survival action horror game.
Okay. Cool. And what was the thinking behind that genre? Is it something that you guys like, or is it just it came left field? What's your decision behind that?
Personally, we always
sí, efectivamente. Painkiller es de Saber Interactive y el tío que te estoy hablando de que hizo el Doom 2016, el resurgimiento y tal, es uno de los míticos de ID Software, o sea que es este seguramente. Y el tío lo que hizo es empezar a trabajar en Evil Dead y ahora está con Painkiller porque los dos son desarrollados por Saber Interactive.
To take that background and play around with.
So, kind of sticking with the horror genre, why did you decide to go with that theme?
Es un nuevo Painkiller, David.
Normally, what you would see, this whole spiritual awakening thing. So, what was the idea behind that?
We thought it was just kind of an interesting territory to explore. There is, there's a lot of influence. From that with like folk horror of the 70s and giallo horror and so forth that really inspired us more from a film standpoint. And, taking that kind of aesthetic, something that was very sensational, very colorful, and mixing it in with kind of more action-oriented and exploratory game mechanics, we felt was a fresh take on the horror space.
Horror space.
So, kind of speaking about your inspirations and stuff, what video games, real-life media has inspired you to create this title?
Well, going way back when Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Alone in the Dark, Eternal Darkness. So a lot of games are very inspirational to us. Our game actually started off as a game.
¿Por qué no ponen el título del juego por detrás, tío, para que sepa la gente de qué coño están hablando? Por si has llegado un segundo tarde.
Just especially really focusing on bringing more of an action element to it. We've since switched to an over-the-shoulder camera and haven't looked back.
So kind of talking about changes and what you guys are doing on the development side.
¿Cómo se va a llamar B? ¿Cómo se va a llamar B?
The original concept. I understand you guys are still developing the game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is now, how much has that differed?
The core story and I'd say the aesthetic and the themes, those all remain intact. I'd say our gameplay, as our team size grew, we added more, we added deeper mechanics. I'd say more action to the game. Our game actually has a fair amount of combat in it, especially on the melee side. Those were things that weren't too prevalent in our original concept, and a lot of those things are just kind of based on, we're a very small team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, brings something new to the mix. So I'd say on that end, the game has evolved in scope and depth of gameplay.
Awesome. Kind of sticking on that point of, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest part of making the game so far?
The hardest part was probably trying to make a game that has more realistic production values, because that's where our background comes from. On a smaller scale and budget.
Yo creo que un poquito de charla de dev es interesante y te pueden sacar alguna cosa chula, pero siempre que pongas de fondo imágenes y que estés comentando alguna cosa también que se ve.
More proprietary technology.
Pero es que no está
and that's
diciendo
also
nada.
Great because new people that join the team can get up and running on the engine quite.
Es que está hablando de que la gente nueva que entra en el equipo se puede poner pronto a trabajar en el engine porque tienen una nueva tecnología no sé cuánto. Es que tío, es que esas cosas no nos interesan.
All of our characters are also scanned actors, and we're using, also tapping into a lot of what's going on in our city. Vancouver has a pretty big film industry, so really tapping into the film and the effects industry. And
No tenemos nada, ¿vale? Te digo la verdad. Me puse ahí a buscar los archivos de la carpeta y no había nada.
You mentioned experience in the past and also kind of how rich Vancouver is. How much does that come in handy when you're working on the game?
Oh, it's been extremely beneficial. Vancouver, is home to a lot of AAA studios. A large portion of us work together at Rockstar and United Front Games, and we also have people who have worked at the Coalition and EA, as well as some smaller independent studios as well. And in addition to that, having the film industry here, where we can utilize local talent. We're working with union actors. We're scanning actors as well that we're using for our characters, and we're actually currently auditioning a couple remaining characters for the game, and as well as doing the finishing touches on our new motion capture studio. So we're going to be doing a full cinematics push over the coming months. That's a really exciting
la chapita, traca.
Awesome. Sounds great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what
¿Te parece un poco de poca vergüenza? No, la verdad no. No es la primera vez que no tengo nada y lo presento. Hasta ahora me ha ido bastante bien. Ahora soy CEO de una empresa y que no puedo más que recomendar que no presentéis cosas aunque no las tengáis hechas. Los exámenes, trabajo de final de curso, de máster, de cualquier cosa, lo presentáis aunque esté totalmente vacío y la gente se lo cree, se cree que has hecho algo. Es una táctica que llevo utilizando desde 1640 de Wisconsin, Vale, hemos aprendido mucho. Gracias por esta mierda de lección que nos has dado. Nos has dado la chapa, pero bueno, no pasa nada. A ver si podemos no contar contigo para ningún evento más, porque eres un vendehumos de los cojones y no tenías nada preparado.
It's truly an exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and this partnership is really helping to provide more reach and more resources, but I think most importantly also just having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really expand and push the vision of the game. We've already received a lot of feedback on the title, and being a small team, we're often in our own little echo chamber, and even in a short period of time we've been able to act on a lot of the feedback, and the game has improved considerably since then.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are
doing. Mike, vámonos ya, por favor, vámonos ya.
I can't wait to let gamers finally get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom of this.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch. That is quite some news.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And as you said, it's about gamers, devs, and games.
¿Este era el racista no sé qué no sé cuánto?
Actually, gamers play an
¿O este otro?
part in the story.
What do you mean?
Well, some kind of confusion happened in the end of last year. We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox, but someone most likely ticked the wrong box in Japan, and it looked like it's going to be released on Switch as well. Of course, by that time there was nothing existing like that. We were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo Japan took this information, some Japanese media, and then the snowball started rolling. All of a sudden it was...
Para el próximo vendehumo que no enseña nada porque no le haces un ritmito de rap.
On the Switch, but as I said, nothing like that was planned at all, and we didn't even think about that. Now, a few months back...
Es que están pasándose con las entrevistas ya,
Somehow cursing around in the Nintendo database. Nintendo...
vale, Daniel Babra, sí,
on Twitter, where they had different pictures of open world games, and they were promoting.
Al Babra lo esconden detrás de, lo meten dentro de una caja cuando van a hacer entrevistas.
There was nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course not, because as I said, nothing like that is existing.
Eso es lo que estoy preguntándome, ver,
created confusion. People were talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming, is it not coming? But for us, actually, and as I said, we didn't think about that until that time. For us, we started to think there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of buzz, people are actually talking about us, reaching out to us, like they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch.
Aitore,
and since we are already in the Koch Media family, or the Embracer family, and there's a lot of talented studios, so is Saber Interactive, and who but them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch. So we sat together.
Joder, Saber está potente, Isial. Saber está ahí liando el taco, en el Summer. En el chat nos estamos preguntando, ¿eres rubio o eres pelirrojo? Bueno, es una pregunta que se hace mucha gente, pero la verdad soy rubiojo. Rubiojo o pelubio, que es lo mismo, pero al revés. Tengo los dos colores, nací así con la barba y con el bigote. Y mi madre no sabía muy bien cómo definirme, así que al final, pues bueno, la gente me llama el rubiojo de Vancouver. No me gusta porque hay un asesino en serie, además, que también se llama así. Y a veces me confunden, ¿eh? Y no es la primera vez que me han detenido, porque el rubiojo de Vancouver asesinó a más de 30 personas aquí en la zona donde yo vivo, y la verdad es muy lamentable esta confusión. Bueno, me voy a tomar una galletita. Ay, no es una galletita, ¿qué es? Es una mierda. Huele a niño, ¿eh? No.
And we are coming up with crazy stuff like that all the time. Our next new merchandise project is a Farkle boxed board game, kind of. So Farkle, for those who don't know, that's like this Kingdom Come Deliverance minigame, a dice game you can play in the game.
A ver si me resulta que eres el rubiojo de Vancouver de verdad, ¿eh? No.
You can get and play Farkle at home against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all the information you need there.
Ooh, my favorite. Soapy hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news, how do you feel about Warhorse being under the new label Prime Matter?
O sea,
it's a huge honor, of course.
Los cortes de la entrevista están al nivel de Room.
O sea, part of the entire Embracer family, so that was a big thing. And now being able to take part at the beginning of something new, be there when there's a new label being
como la película de
created,
Hit.
that is
como la película de Hit. No se han visto en ningún momento ninguno de los dos. Lo han grabado por separado porque se odian.
Partner already. That is really cool, and we are looking forward to a bright future.
Thank you very much, Toby. We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye.
So are we. Thank you very much, and see you.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role of a humanoid avatar of a sentient spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known universe to battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion, but here's a very quick peek at what's in store.
Hombre, gracias por enseñarme algo. ¿Qué juego es este? Stranger Things. Raycon. ¿No me suena?
Hi, we are Raycon Games, and what you have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game codenamed Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
A ver, esta gente está enseñando algo.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien worlds to explore, but also an adrenaline-fueled combat. In final form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine.
El movimiento se ve interesante, ¿eh?
There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can
reconnect
the fantasy of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess blazing away in a spectacular ballet of destruction.
Raycon is located in Warsaw, Poland, with additional team members located all over the world. The studio was founded and is managed entirely by game developers.
Tiene pinta de ser el malo.
Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially. Currently, Raycon is over 50 brilliant game creators. And counting. We are not a huge team, but what we love to do is to evolve together with our projects, constantly finding smarter and better ways to achieve something truly unique. We build our work environment just like we make games, aiming for the best results and personal fulfillment. We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken care of first.
¿Qué putos cojonazos hay que tener para llegar y presentar una sala? O sea, solamente he presentado una habitación con un tío que ha pegado un tiro a 3 bots. Ya está.
We're looking forward to share more on Final Form in the future.
O sea, te presentan los juegos teniendo -0 hecho.
And see you around.
Final Form. Bueno, al menos esto es una cosa que yo no había oído. Al menos es algo nuevo. Y son los que más han mostrado.
I have to say, guys, I love the soundtrack from Final Form. Moving on to our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gagares themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements?
Me gusta pensar que en realidad está tumbada boca arriba en una moqueta.
Sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen.
Y tiene la cámara puesta así. Sujeta la cámara con los pies. World Premiere. A ver, a ver.
Let's speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near São Paulo in the southeast of Brazil. Sir, Gabriel,
de Brasil.
What is Dolmen about?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and to participate.
Gabriel Neves Ferreira.
So let me tell a little bit about what Dolmen is. Dolmen is that kind of a game that where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet, but you're going there to help a company save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save everyone. It's just a job. But we hope that the players consider the humanity, the greed, the war, and the spares and the challenges that come to mind along with that job. Taking all that part, and yes, Dolmen is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling. After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's inspired on Souls-like, so yes.
Primero ha dicho que es un juego que no se trata de matar monstruos y después ha dicho que es un juego que se trata de matar monstruos.
Obviously, you guys went for that for like a very specific reason. What's the thinking behind the name? Why did you go for Dolmen?
So there was many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Domen, which means a single chamber tomb, a megalithic tomb. We thought it would be a good word to describe this tomb.
Se supone que es como un planeta en el que tienes que... tú eres como un mercenario, ¿no? Que va a hacer un trabajo y tal. Pero ha dicho algo como que tienes que salvar o tienes que rescatar a la especie que hay allí en el planeta o algo, ¿no?
May or may not have heard of Dolmen before, so it is already out there in the world. But how long has it taken to get to this point?
Oh, it's been a long journey since the beginning of the project. We started at late 2016, so it's been almost 5 years now.
5 años desarrollándolo.
Just a bit more to come out.
Esto lo ha empezado él solo, se ha tirado 4 años solo.
Our journey, if it wasn't the support that we had since the beginning, either our community, the Kickstarters, and you guys, I believe we would not be here right now.
Lovely. How have you been inspired by other games? You mentioned like the Souls-like obviously inspires it. You know, are there other games that inspire you? And also, what games do the teams like?
First of all, regarding inspirations, a lot of games came to us when we were producing games.
Dice que es un juego hardcore y que tiene inspiraciones de Souls.
Passionate, and we really love Souls-like games. So Bloodborne, Dark Souls, those games were our main inspirations. But we drew,
pues mira, te digo una cosa, si realmente sacan un juego con inspiración de Dark Souls y tal, que sea hardcore, que sea de combate también así difícil, con mecánicas muy apuradas, muy pulidas, y en un entorno así alienígena, con un personaje distinto, con un rollo distinto, eso es precisamente lo que tienen que hacer. En lugar de copiar exactamente igual todo del Dark Souls, ¿sabes?
Games that we most like and games that our team likes. It's really hard to say because we have a team that ranges from liking Dota to CS and Souls-like games. But what I can really tell you is that everyone of our team is passionate about the project because they
sí, bastante turra. Esto de tener charlas aquí, esto es para después. Primero presenta.
Well, when you get hands on Dolmen, all these inspirations that have come in. So the game is set in a sci-fi universe. Is there any specific reason you decided to go down that route? Was there any other?
Es que no nos interesa por qué han decidido ponerlo en un universo de sci-fi. No nos interesa, eso no va con el juego. Las decisiones que hayan tomado ellos no nos interesan en absoluto. En Brucinho, de mi corazón. En Brasil es un mundo de sci-fi. Los vagabundo te saca la vaca te mata, Puerto Dorado. El Brasil es una tremenda codicia. La playa de las arenas se va. Se ve las garotiñas, la playa, te saca la faca, te mata, vagabundo.
While we're kind of on the point of humans and Earth, you guys are based in Brazil, which is awesome. Are there any specific challenges?
Siempre que hay una pelea de brasileños dicen eso. De vagabundo.
There were a lot of challenges that we faced along this 5-year journey. We obviously had to adapt our workflow in these late years. So 2020 and 2021 was a really challenge for us. But it was something that we could adapt well, especially because even that we're based in Brazil, we're not only based in a single location in Brazil. We have people spread across the country. So it was easy enough to overcome that challenge. But there were several challenges since getting development kits and finding
Palmas, si le quita el pelo, ¿se parece a Palma? Sí. Sí, ¿verdad? Tiene chiquillo.
This amazing game, and that's what we
Palma más guapo, pero
something that our company appreciates the most and really gives value is the people that we work with. They were really incredible people, and they were really rare.
Hola, Javilón.
Absolutely, that's really cool. Kind of on that theme of development and challenges, given how development and technology often dictates how a game evolves throughout its development, how kind of close are you to the original concept that you guys came up for Dolmen?
Well, there are different point of views on that answer.
Me gusta mucho la pregunta. La pregunta la he hecho como ya pidiendo perdón, ¿sabes? ¿Cómo hacéis no sé cuánto, no sé qué, no sé cuánto del Dolmen? Lo siento, en mi trabajo tengo que hacer más preguntas. Yo sé que vosotros no queréis ver esto. Sé que queréis ver gameplay. Sé que queréis ver otra cosa, pero lo siento. Es lo que hay.
It diverged in two senses, and one of them, when we first started the game was
seguramente fue el policía.
Insane and has a lot of background on it. It has all this universe around it. So.
Bueno, vamos a ver. Estábamos los colegas tomando una caipiriña en la Plaza du Dorada du Zou, y entonces vinieron unos cuantos con la faca, y nos asustamos muchísimo, nos fuimos corriendo para casa, nos salimos en 4 meses, entonces decidimos, mientras que estábamos ahí encerrados, encerradísimo, que es que no salíamos, dijimos, vamos a hacer un videojuego mientras tanto, porque nos da miedo salir a la calle, que nos den con la faca. Y entonces todo el mundo dijo, de acuerdo, vale, fantástico, perfecto. Y al final pues sacamos este proyecto. Se llama Dolmen porque tiene, a ver cómo te lo explico, tiene el dolor de espalda, de estar todo el día sentado, y men de hombre en inglés, que es lo que somos. O sea, somos un grupo de 4 tíos. Y interesante. Oye, qué genial lo que has dicho, me interesa muchísimo. ¿Qué te parece si no dejas de callarte ya una puta vez y nos vamos a ver otra cosa, ¿Qué te parece? No se cae.
We could have gone into different options. Especially, for example, we could have wanted to make a game that was simpler or smaller or not have that many hours of gameplay. But we decided to go to a hardcore game. Even that's
tiene ahí puesto su QR muy bonito en el póster, pero no se puede tampoco dar con el móvil al QR.
We faced a lot of
está demasiado borroso.
As I mentioned previously, but I believe the hardest part of the game was finding the correct professionals and
que yo de verdad, si estuviesen hablando algo interesante, a mí me interesa, o sea, que cuenten cosas chulas, pero es que están hablando.
A single game is something that is challenging for everyone, especially right now. So it was a difficult decision, but
de cómo toman las decisiones, de qué les parece a ellos, de por qué han decidido hacer los sci-fi, o sea, cosas que al público no le interesan en absoluto, este tipo de decisiones que hay detrás de los estudios. Cuando sea un éxito el juego, y venda 60, cuando sea un Valheim, pues entonces te hace un documental maravilloso y dices, pues mira, decidimos que íbamos a hacer los vikingos, y todo el mundo, hostia, qué guapo, no sé qué. Pero ahora mismo la vida es mucho más que verte. La vida es mucho más. Espero muchas cosas ilusionantes. No me das nada, me decepcionas. Enséñame gameplay. Enséñame gameplay. Pues no te lo voy a enseñar, te jodes, Me he venido aquí con mi cámara de 480p para decirte a la cara, a ti, gordo, que estás en Málaga, carbo perdido, no te voy a enseñar nada de gameplay. Este juego en realidad es mentira, no lo estamos haciendo, es una broma todo. Estamos troleándote a ti y a todo el chat que tienes ahí. Bueno, tampoco todo, porque decir todo es fantástico, me interesa mucho. Vamos a seguir jodiéndole la puta vida al Carbo que está viendo la conferencia. Es impresionante, me lo paso genial. Me gusta mucho joder a la gente cuando viene a verme en mi casa. Incluso me vuelvo loca y digo, vamos a cenar, y no le pongo la cena. ¿Te gusta eso? ¡Me gusta! Hijos de puta. Sí, yo también lo hago. Muchas veces quedo con la gente y digo, vamos a tomarnos unas caipirinhas, unos chupitos ahí, todo bueno, no sé cuánto, no sé qué, y no compro el alcohol. No compro el alcohol y se quedan ahí esperando y no les enseño nada y los dejo ahí sentado en el sofá, todo rapado para atrás, todo jodido todo el mundo. No le pongo ni unos cacahuetes ni nada, se jode la vida y al final soy yo el único que saborea ese pequeño, ese detallito. Es que me pone así el tener a la gente esperando y no enseñarles nada, de verdad. Es una cosa que es que me excita muchísimo. Pensar que ahora hay más de 20.000 personas esperando que yo les enseñe una cosa y saber que no la voy a enseñar en ningún momento es una de las mayores satisfacciones sexuales que tengo en mi vida.
What are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch on their brand new label?
That's really that's really
Juan X y Carlos.
Koch really helped us and
Juan.
Gracias
por el follow.
We couldn't make it for ourselves.
Es que no se callan. Es que llevan todo el rato así.
An amazing team of QA, localization, so we can reach different countries and players everywhere. We have a
Caliebre, venga, vale, voy a darle el follow, pero que quede claro que lo conocí porque Isial es todo pesado y no para de poner la clipasa en save. Gracias, Isial, gracias. El mayor follow es el follow con presión. El follow que no se quiere dar y se acaba dando. Ese es el follow que a mí más me gusta, de verdad, Ediator, te lo agradezco,
Game developers and expand the game community.
El follow en contra de tu propia voluntad. Ese follow vale por 10.
Opportunity.
Has ganado vida por llegar tarde.
More importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabriel. It's been awesome talking to you.
Chromisaurus. Muchas gracias por el follow.
Under the new label. Thank you for your time.
Por fin,
and see you
se
later.
acabó.
Thank you. See you.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer, and then Opal got a chance to sit down and talk with CEO Nikolai Baryshnikov.
No quiero sentarme a hablar con nadie más.
The balance is off.
Dark Alliance. ¿Esto qué es? ¿Qué polla es esto?
Our land, Nostria, dances on the knife's edge of fate.
Esto parece un MMO,
King Claudius, my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion. Something is coming. Now the burden of the crown falls onto me.
King's Bounty 2. Sí, King's Bounty 2.
Nostria was flourishing.
Ahora que he visto el personaje,
but there is unrest.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing. Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something that does not exist. A seer foretells that our Savior is among us. People of Nostria, you laid faith in my father, do so to me. We must look towards the horizon, fight back the darkness, and preserve the light of our land. For Nostria!
El King's Bounty. Agosto 24, 2021. Yo hubiese puesto menos imágenes cercanas.
Guys. Thanks for joining me, and I am joined by from One Entertainment, CEO and creator of King's Bounty 2. So King's Bounty has been years in development and has a 30-year pedigree. So what is it that makes King's Bounty 2 so special?
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games.
Me ha asustado, te lo juro, me ha asustado, te lo juro, me ha asustado, No esperaba que me iba a llamar ahora y me acaba de tirar un peo y digo, hostia, ¿me han escuchado? ¿Me han escuchado o no me han escuchado? Es que ha sido una de las peores experiencias que he tenido en mi vida. Te lo juro, me has pillado, que estoy todavía con el susto del cuerpo.
The cornerstone of King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and I know as you mentioned, the first King's Bounties was 1990, and then you had the King's Bounty that you guys created in the 2000s. What technical improvements, now that we're in 2021, are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the core aspect of the game with tactical battles. And if in the previous games, the battlefield was always a flat surface, so now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have, line of sights, hills, like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill, they will do like extra damage for the high ground, etc. So moving the battle is a huge step forward. And then the whole role-playing part, the exploration part, we decided to move towards games like Fable or Mass Effect.
Seguro que le hace muchísima ilusión.
Role-playing games, as opposed to have a top-down isometric view of tiny little character on the horse just galloping around.
Muchas gracias, Rampar925, por esa pedazo de suscripción. Gracias por esos 37 mesazos. Que te como la cara, Rampar.
Because this is not like a small indie title anymore. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
No, the game will not follow on any previous games. But even the previous King's Bounty, they all sort of like disconnected. There was like a name.
Vale, no vas a seguir la historia de los demás. El problema que tiene con el blur es que si lo haces demasiado fuerte, ya deja de estar, ya deja de quedar cinematográfico, deja de quedar así como que una cámara te está enfocando a ti y parece que estás metido en una puta pecera directamente.
Solving some little quests, and then King's Bounty 2 is really
está en una cárcel de cristal.
We have spent like dozens of hours solving puzzles, working with different factions, making decisions that change the character and the world. So we're really moving much more towards an epic RPG. However, this is a rare combination where our game, King's Bounty, is not an action RPG. It's not a Witcher game where you have to, press buttons on the joysticks and battle enemies in the field. It's interesting crossbreed of a high fantasy role-playing game with a tactical strategy.
Clipasa no se va a hacer nada más que una clipasa a la semana y dejad de pedirlo ya. Que os meto todo en la cárcel de cristal con este señor.
For the console, and for me, like a great inspiration was the modern remake of XCOM, for example, because I was a huge fan of XCOM that was released in 1994, 1996, and the modern console reinventing of XCOM. This is something we're trying to achieve with King's Bounty, really make a modern game that works well on modern platforms, that works well with current
tendremos que darle a esto.
How a game should look like. So we're trying to enhance it in every possible direction.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Kind of speaking about the story of King's Bounty 2 and how it differs, it appears to have a darker, more gritty aesthetic compared to its predecessors. What was the design philosophy around that? Why did you decide to go with that instead?
That's an interesting question. We've been debating on the design approach.
Eso no ha sido mi ordenador,
we spent a lot of time prototyping, working on the core gameplay and the looks and the art of the game.
Eso no ha sido mi PC, ¿eh? Ni de coña, vamos.
Fancy indie look, but we decided we are now
seguro
a different league. We're trying to make a much bigger title, a big game, an epic adventure. We've been astonished by more than
¿Cuál juego de los que has jugado en cagazo te ha gustado más?
in games, and we thought that this is a good idea actually to
A ver,
upgrade King's Bounty to
si me preguntas cuál me ha gustado más, como cuál me ha dado más miedo de todos,
like Kingdom Come, when they're like, dirty peasants, everything is bad. No, it's more like, as I said,
yo creo que uno de los mejores es el del From the Darkness, ¿eh? Así reciente, el From the Darkness es uno de los mejores por la experiencia que es, lo corta que, o sea, el tiempo que dura y lo que te mata por dentro. Pero hay es que hay muchos juegos que me han gustado. Hay muchos juegos que me han gustado de cagazo. El Infliction, el Suite 776, el Find Yourself. Como juego, te diría lo mejor de Chill Art. El de Convenience Store me parece me rompió la cabeza bastante, me gustó mucho cómo estaba hecho. Pero es que claro, es muy difícil decirte uno. Muy difícil.
Yeah, so we've mentioned that this game.
El del hotel también me parece súper original. El del hotel también.
Like ways that you can play the game, basically, from third-person RPG elements to this unique fighting system, this kind of chess-like fighting system. Kind of, why did you choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play games?
No sé, Marcos, esto no lo sé, Marcos. Eso ya es porque tú me miras con buenos ojos.
Do you think that this is kind of what makes King's Bounty King's Bounty?
He potado hace una hora, que tiene una cara maravillosa.
I don't even need to answer. King's Bounty is again, is a grandfather.
Murder House también me flipó a muerte ese. Estaba chulísimo.
From King's Bounty, then it becomes, I don't know, Mass Effect or Kingdom Come. So so we can play around with evolution of this gameplay, making it more fun or realistic. But obviously, this is the core.
Me confundió de filtro.
This is a tactical game with a lot of role-playing aspects and high fantasy aspects, and not the other way around. So again, gamers who like RPG with shooting elements, games like Cyberpunk, this King's Bounty is probably not for them. I'm sorry, it's a different game.
Yeah, and in terms of, we've mentioned kind of this new 3D world that you're creating when it comes to the fighting style, and then these RPG mechanics and making this world feel more alive.
The Ocean también me flipó.
Actually the hardest.
No lo pondría a lo mejor en el top, pero me
flipó. What kind of caused you the most headaches?
Hard to say. First of all, this multiple platform game, so there are specific technical.
Pues IGN se supone que va a presentar un grupo de indie, supongo que veremos juegos repetidos y tal, pero se supone que van a hacer también algunas World Premiere. Así que veremos. El Giraffe Town no está en tu top fatal. Pero no es de cagazo. Giraffe Town no está en mi top de cagazo. Está en top de chorraza.
Easy looking isometric view into a 3D high fantasy and the production of assets. So we wanted to build like a huge map. We wanted to populate this map with a lot of characters that would just move around, go somewhere, have their own like stories. Then we decided to.
Solo pido que por favor me saquéis de aquí de la cárcel de cristal. Me han metido aquí dentro. No me dejan salir y estoy muy asustado. No veo a mis hijos de hace por lo menos 4 meses. Por favor, solo pido eso, que a cualquiera que esté viéndome, cualquiera que esté conectado a los directos, que por favor llame a mi mujer, le diga que estoy aquí, que estoy bien y... Me importa una puta mierda cómo estés, amigo. Aquí te hemos encerrado para que hables sin parar. Ya me lo dijeron que el objetivo era aburrir al personal y hablar de muchas cosas que no le interesa a la gente y eso, pero por favor, solo pido que le digáis a mi mujer que estoy bien, que me dan de comer una vez al día y me ponen un plato con agua también para que beba. Se ríen porque me la tengo que beber como un perro, pero bueno, no me importa. Solo quiero que la gente sepa que esta empresa trata muy bien a los empleados, que en ningún momento he sido forzado a hacer nada contra mi voluntad. Por favor, algo más, no sé. Por favor, rescátenme.
Partner, so we are on the market for many years, and I would say,
¡Puedo más! ¡Quiero que se callen!
If we do it just ourselves, that we might not have the human resources to deliver the information about the game itself. We'll work with all the platform holders as effectively as in a co-production and co-publishing with such an esteemed.
Es que no lo voy a mutear, que estamos, se supone viéndolo.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your time, Nikolai. And I cannot wait for people to get their hands on King's Bounty too.
Oh, me too. Trust me, me too. After 4 years of development, that's going to be one of the most exciting days for me in 2021.
We have 12 titles. We keep saying
12 titles.
And honestly, I shouldn't have a favorite. It's like picking between a favorite child. However, this next title speaks to me on a gaming level unlike any other. This third-person action-adventure shooter will keep you up at night tossing and turning with its horrific, nightmarish creatures. Think Alice in Wonderland meets Alien, or as one US journalist put it, Tomb Standing. Guys, sit back, relax, grab a pillow, because you get a world-exclusive look at Scars Above.
Good job.
Dr. Ward, Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Uy, esa cámara. Esto...
Telemetry check.
Telemetry check. Here go.
Wow. How is this possible? What planet is this? How did I end up here?
Poco trabajado veo yo el personaje.
Log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity should cause a reaction. The debris. It's from Hermes. It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere. Mira. It's still intact.
Una especie de Lara Croft genérica, ¿sabes? Ahí que no viene a cuento, no tiene sentido. Le veo cero personalidad.
What the hell was that? Log entry. The creature has multiple salivary glands in its thoracic region that seem to produce a highly venomous secretion.
Típico mecanismo alienígena que le pegas un tiro,
The whole
¿sabes?
place is covered with some kind of organic residue. Looks like Robinson managed to connect the MPU to the pillar.
This will help me get through that tissue webbing. And I'm taking the MPU.
Sí. A él le falta bastante pulido a ciertas cosillas de animaciones, de la cámara, de...
Who were the architects of this place? Did they build these towering monuments
El tema
to
es,
serve a purpose?
tú vas con tu nave espacial visitando
Were they
planetas.
looking for answers or solving a problem?
Esa nave que ha salido al principio la pueden manejar, la pueden mover.
Oh my god!
El personaje es que de verdad, o sea, cero personalidad, ¿eh? No dicen nada. Porque la de Returnal. La de Returnal se le ve más carácter que a esta. Se le ve. Se distingue mejor el personaje, ¿sabes? Dice algo. Pero es que esta no dice nada. Esto es como coger un asset de Lara Croft y poner una bolsa detrás. Calibre las 10. ¿Y qué pasa a las 10? ¿Lo de IGN? No sé, no me acuerdo ya. Calibre las 10. Pero eso terminará ya, ¿no? Se solapan los eventos, me cago en su puta madre. Bueno, voy buscando el IGN, venga. A ver. No hago bien, putos. No hago bien. ¡Zorros!
The pseudocerebrum seems to be generating an electrical charge. This neural pathway is conducting large amounts of bioelectricity. This gland is secreting the cryogenic fluid that's freezing the water.
Right here is the chillest place to be during this hot, hot summer of gaming. You see the way we're dressed? We're clearly here to have a good time. I'm Akeem Lawanchin, joined by my festive buddy, Brian Altano. And for the next hour, we're going to be bringing you exclusive first looks at upcoming video games that'll likely leave blisters on your thumbs from the sheer thought of playing them, Brian.
It's physically impossible to get blisters on your thumbs from thinking about something, but you know, I believe you in your heart's in the right place. By all means,
ahora, o sea.
Look, I gotta tell you, man, you don't tell me what's physically impossible, baby. Tell me about the games. You know, we're smack dab in the middle of summer gaming, IGN's all summer long game abrasion celebration. Now, yesterday, y'all saw Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest kickoff live. Tomorrow is the start of our E3 2021 coverage, and this right now, this thing that you're experiencing right now is our very own IGN Expo. It's the eye of the heat storm, and you know, well, we
had a chance to talk to the developers, Mad Head Games, and ask them what their game was all about.
Hello there, guys. Join.
No!
You just got to look at the brand new Mortal Shell, the Virtuous Cycle DLC. And coming up, we've got numerous trailer reveals of upcoming titles, DLC, announcements, developer walkthroughs, and so much more. I'm actually not sure if we're allowed to spoil the surprise for you all, so let's just jump right into it and show you some exclusive game footage from Creed.
Games!
World Premiere, venga, vamos. Me da igual los juegos de boxeo, pero al menos veo cosas en movimiento, vamos.
I'll go easy on you at first.
Juego de Creed. Peliculón, por cierto, Creed, ¿eh?
Let's do this.
There is no tomorrow. Dead meat. I defeat all men.
Es que habla así el Stallone.
Ready to feel the beat? Didn't take a single hit. I did it.
Big Rumble Chris Champions Boxing, available September 3. It's a class of. A ver. What? ¿Esto qué es? Bro, where's?
The position of the inkwell indicates that the victim is left-handed. However, the bullet entered the right temple. That's strange. The goodbye letter was written while the victim's
Sherlock?
glasses were left untouched upon the nightstand. Who would want their final words to appear crooked? Traces of a long dress is a crime disguised as suicide. The maid? No. I have it. They belong to the priest who wanted to retain ownership of the land for his presbytery. The first case on this island is closed.
That's incredible, Sherlock. You always impress me.
Sherlock.
Well, did you really think that you could come to this island without getting a little dirty? That investigation was easy, but this personal mission that brought you here, you know it's nothing but pain and madness. I know it's not so far from what's already in your mind.
La presentación es brutal, vamos.
But once the truth is revealed, will it help? Watch your step, Sherlock. This quest might soil more than your shoes. You're not ready for this investigation.
Violet Holmes. Capítulo 1 de Sherlock Holmes. Me gusta. Mira, de verdad, tío, no lo soporto. Estos son los putos ases que regalaron el Humble Bundle. No paran de utilizarlo para todos los juegos. Ya está bien. Ya está bien. Bueno, regalaron no, que había una oferta muy barata y te regalaban un montón. Bueno, te salía muy barato, un montón de assets de estos. Es insufrible, tío. Hasta en una Expo te ponen juegos con esto, tío. Joder, Raúl, tío, de verdad, esto es impresionante, ¿eh? Métete por el culo el juego. World Premiere. Son tiempos duros. Más duro es que le paguen, coño, a un concept artist o que le paguen a alguien que modele un personaje. A la gente sin curro. No. 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 ¿Este es el nivel? A mí me gustaba la loca. La morena, la loca. Yuri creo que se llamaba. Ay, Dios mío, Yuri. Cómo te amo. No voy a jugarlo ni de puta broma este juego. Con edición física el Doki Doki. ¿Pero esto qué es? ¿Qué mundo es este? Ya está bien, ¿no? Sí, sí.
Woo, man, I gotta tell y'all, what a block of awesome that was. I'm so excited for Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, especially as a man living in the middle of a pandemic. You know, I wouldn't mind having Monica in my reality these days, and I know I'm not alone. Actually, I am alone, which is why I want a video game character to come keep me company. But I am excited for that one. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Well, that Sherlock Holmes game looks pretty cool, and also as a man and living in the post-pandemic, I'd sure love to have a platonic business relationship with Watson to solve crimes and such, and hold hands. But let's keep this train going by tossing it to the developers over at Gearbox for a breakdown of the Wonderlands trailer. This new game is set in the Borderlands universe and inspired by
Van a poner el
Tiny
tráiler
Tina's
de Alice in Wonderland.
Let's take a look at Wonderlands.
Roll for initiative, suckers!
Qué musicote tiene ese tráiler.
Hey everybody, my name is Matt Cox and I'm the creative director of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'm thrilled to be able to go through this trailer with you today. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is an entirely new adventure set in an unpredictable fantasy world that's full of whimsy and wonder and high-powered weapons. Packed with fresh gameplay ideas, irreverent humor, a crazy story-driven adventure, and repeatable endgame content that you can enjoy with friends in co-op up to 4 players.
You cannot hide from fate.
So on your quest to defeat our main villain, the Dragon Lord, you're going to fight a variety of monsters from shambling skeletons to...
Pero que esta peña mantengan el tema de poder hacerlo en cooperativo el juego es para darles un premio. Tal y como están las cosas hoy en día con las campañas cooperativas, que es muy difícil.
The awesome Gabe Kunda voices the mysterious figure that you hear in this trailer. Now, he's not the protagonist. Players can actually create and customize their own multi-class heroes in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Players won't literally customize their weapons, but
y por eso vas a triunfar,
a wide variety of loot and a wide variety of rarities. So you have guns, spells, melee weapons, and of course you'll have your skills that you can use. And then you'll be able to find loot like armor and amulets and more. Spells are a big part of our combat loop, and while it's true we do not have grenades in this game, we actually like to think of our spells more as mini skills because of their power and their variety of behaviors. Our cast is incredible. We have the headstrong Captain Valentine, the rule-obsessed robot Fret, and of course our tyrant villain Dragon Lord,
Andy
and
Samberg.
Tiny Tina. And they're all brought to life.
Andy Samberg es el de Lonely Island, ¿no? El de Saturday Night Live, ¿no?
Leaping in to save the day here.
De 999
Now, all of this takes place in a game within a game as players experience a round of bunkers and badasses, a chaotic fantasy tabletop adventure where anything can happen. The very unpredictable Tiny Tina makes the rules, she changes the world on the fly, and guides players on their epic fantasy journey. Now, a lot of the tone and humor in this story springs from this chaos. This takes place shortly after Assault on Dragon Keep.
Porque has dicho ese mental del culo gritando. ¿Qué te ha pasado?
A brand new adventure in a brand new world in the mind of Tiny Tina.
Ah, que se llama ese mental del culo el unicornio.
And the crazy world that we're creating, and it's been an absolute joy working on this game. So we're very excited for everyone to share.
Vale, lo acabo de ver ahora. Bat Stallion.
Next year.
No lo sabía. Es que como yo no juego Borderlands.
I think it should go without saying that Wonderlands looks wonderful. There, I said it, and I don't care who hears me say something so brave yet so controversial. Anyway, we've got more gaming goodness coming up on the IGN Expo when Summer of Gaming 2021 returns, so don't go anywhere.
Pero me gusta tu camisa.
That's a threat.
Te perdono la vida.
It's not a threat. I mean, it's just mildly nicely asking you don't go anywhere. But don't go anywhere. I have scissors.
No me hace gracia.
I'll make a beautiful, beautiful card for you that says "Don't go anywhere." We'll be right back.
Por favor, vamos a ver, un mundo para los humoristas y hay un mundo para los que presentan, ¿vale? No mezclemos porque entonces.
The Tomorrow War, exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd, and powered by Duracell Optimum. the official battery sponsor of Summer of Gaming 2021, and presented by USAA Insurance and Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths.
Si a mí no me vienen a ver como presentador, no te permito que tú hagas bromas.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives.
Estos son anuncios de mierda, no nos interesa. Qué ganas de jugar al Cyberpunk tengo, de verdad, Estoy deseándolo.
Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the number one source.
Además, dando donde duele, poniendo ahí eventos con gente y tal, para joder a la audiencia, para que se den cuenta de lo que era el mundo antes. Qué mala hostia. La otra pestaña, Caliebre. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
Perfectly harmless nuclear power. We need to know, and humanity is waiting for you to help unlock its secrets. Descend into the dome itself and join one of our incredible research teams. The only question is, which wing of Cronus is the best fit for you? If you like taking orders, cracking heads, ultra-violence, and guns, lots of guns, then the Black Wing is for you. Can you build and repair incredible technology, but not expect any credit for it? You sound like an engineer to us. Welcome to the Blue Wing. Are you a doctor, scientist, mathematician, or any other type of brainiac? We've got you covered in the White Wing. Do you like taking credit for the hard work of others, but never do anything yourself? Those forms won't fill themselves. That's management, mister. And the Silver Wing awaits. Are you a criminal, prisoner, or have no discernible skills whatsoever? Then you're coming to the Orange Wing, like it or not. Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready to make the change with us? Are you ready to love it so much that you'll never want to leave? Then join Cronus and take the second giant leap for mankind under the dome.
En case.
That's not all. Opal got to sit down with the creative brains behind it.
Me gusta, Encased. Me gusta.
What we might see now, Akeem?
Well, you know what, Brad? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say exclusive gameplay trailers with a
ahora después, si nos hemos dejado algún jueguecillo, lo revisamos por YouTube.
Wild guess. Well,
ese tengo ganas de verlo al
principio.
See
what we got.
Quiero estornudar.
It hurt me. It hurt me to say it. Okay?
It should.
Physically hurt to say that joke. Physically. I need the scissors.
Espero que no se haya oído. Contenido exclusivo de este. Cómo me pone este juego. Puta maravilla, como sigue, qué musicote. Tío, el Sifu, hostia, tío, qué guapo está el Sifu. ¿Por qué ponen un Lego si este no es de Lego? Este creo que era como una especie de mundo abierto, ¿no? MMO. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué intentas con el personaje de Unity por defecto? ¿Qué estás haciendo? Pero ¿para qué coge el generador de terrenos? O sea, ¿qué haces? Pero qué coño, que no tiene sentido. Un trabajo extra ahí de plastilina, de imprimir el escenario para hacer lo mismo que podría hacer con el generador de terreno del tirón. No tiene sentido.
The place of opportunity, where even the ice cream's dreams of hitting the big time. You see these guys? They've got that go-getting attitude, making it happen in the streets. And oh, the streets, kid! Forget paved with gold. Here, there's nothing but miles of the smoothest concrete ramps and grinds everywhere. Makes you want to grab your board and... Hold on, you can skate, right? Whatever, you pick it up! Or not. Look, it's fine. Your skills, my connections, ain't nothing we can't achieve. There's a whole world out there to discover. It's time to shine, my humanoid friend.
Pecho palomo literal, Este es el Oli, ¿no? El nuevo. Se mola.
Ollie World.
Sí,
Take
Oli.
a trip.
Música guapa, muy guapa la música. Oli World.
Yeah, baby hopper. Big deals on tiny wheels. You need a board? You need a battery for that? Hello.
Está chulo, está fresquito. Se ve fresquito el juego. World Premiere. Saber Interactive.
Brothers and sisters, you're hearing my voice because we have reached a crossroads in this war.
Madre mía, están que lo petan, no paran.
We know now that no miracle is coming. That simply surviving is a slow
Oh,
death.
World War Z. Este es World War Z. Que también lo llevan los de Saber.
That we will not win by holding
De hecho,
our
es
ground.
otro de los juegos en los que participó el tío este.
Our ranks have grown.
Que está con el Painkiller.
Our skills have sharpened. And our weapons are loaded. We have initiated a new strategy in Kamchatka.
Our forces are prepared to take back Rome.
We will not hide. There will be no retreat. Today we claw back from the brink. Today we make a stand.
Este salió bien, el World War Z salió bien. A la gente que lo ha jugado le ha molado, ¿no?
Welcome back to IGN Expo! Yes, now you all just got a sneak peek of Sifu and World War Z Aftermath, among others. Now, I can ramble all day about how great those reveals were, but you know, why ramble when we got Bramble?
Este lo bueno que tiene es que tiene unas hordas bastante vastas de bichos. O sea, es como un punto más que un Left 4 Dead. O sea, sale una cantidad de bichos brutal. Lo bueno y lo malo, porque te tiene que estresar bastante. A ver qué exclusiva es esta. ¿Qué haces, loco? Uy, está viniendo feeling de Annabelle. Annabelle de Creation, que la vi ayer. Muy bien, chicharrones. Y toda la cara ya pinta de rojo el niño. Dios. Hostia. Qué mal rollo, ¿no? Bramble. ¿Esto será una especie de Little Nightmares? Mola mucho la idea. Bueno, la idea. Mola mucho la tía esa que ha salido, que me ha dado todo el mal rollo.
I gotta say, Brian, Bramble, that was something. I'm all in on this one. You can definitely, from now on, call me a brambling man.
Yeah.
I mean, Bramble.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the game looks really awesome. I just feel like you're really excited about the repeated stabbing thing. That seems like you're honing in on that specifically. You seem very into that, which is odd.
I mean, it's got everything that you want in a solid video game. I thought it was really awesome. I'm really excited for it, Brian. Just tell what do we have next? Because I'm super excited, man. If Bramble was this damn good, we got to have something else coming up next that's just as equally, if not better.
Cool your enthusiasm.
You know, whatever's up next, I think maybe we should pivot and have something with like considerably less chest stabbing. Maybe something like a little bit more chill. You know, something kind of relaxing.
So
abajo pone check out this bird that can skate. Ese es el juego del pájaro con
birds, like skate birds.
Sí,
skateboarding birds.
Oh, yeah. I mean that's very, very specific, but that would be super chill. Yeah, let's do it. Skating birds, great.
Well, then you know what, Brian? I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna love this next game. Here comes skateboarding birds in Skatebird. Let's check it out.
Skatebird.
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 Mira, si no fuesen tan gorditos, me enfadaría, pero es que no puedo evitar que ponerme cariñoso cuando lo veo el juego este. Es que están muy gorditos, tienen panchota y tienen culazo. Míralo. No puedo evitar que me guste. ¿Cómo aletea? Con corbata. Todavía, ya han presentado muchas veces el juego este y todavía las animaciones se ven poco fluidas, ¿eh? Se ven ahí unos cambios un poco bruscos. Miedo me da. $12 de agosto. No te puedes estar dando prisa.
Wow, what a day. Well, that's all the time we have here on IGN Expo.
Wait,
I want to thank my hairstylist. I want to thank
Brian, hold on. Wait, are you insane, man? We're only halfway through. What are you doing?
Oh, wow. Well, this event is stacked with even more exclusive reveals and brand new trailers than I could have reasonably anticipated.
Clearly, and very well said, my friend. And we'll be right back with even more right after this break. So stick around and keep being part of our summer of gaming.
That's right. And I want to thank my agent. I want to thank my friends. I want to thank my uncle who taught me that wrestling isn't real. That made me mad when I was a kid. But I'm okay with it now. It only took about 60 years to get cool with that. But I want to thank the guy who cleaned the...
Es el mismo rollo.
IGN's Summer of Gaming is powered by Duracell Optimum. All summer long, we're bringing you the game announcements, developer interviews, and all the demos you care about. So get comfortable and get ready to play. Upgrade your Xbox controller with Duracell Optimum batteries today.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and
No, que va de
games,
chulo.
reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings
No,
you
yo
all the
juego con
coverage
el
you
de
need,
Xbox
no
con el que
matter
más
where
juego
you
al
are.
final. En
Whether
PC
on
juego con el de
IGN.com,
Xbox.
the
Me
IGN
parece
app,
mejor.
YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat,
Era
we've
solo
always got you covered.
por enfadar un poco. Es que me parece lamentable que el juego, o sea, que el mando de Xbox me parece lamentable que no tenga una batería. Que le tengas que comprar aparte la batería.
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you.
Lo de
Make
Cosmedia
sure to
siguen
catch
con la
The
turra,
Fix
¿no?
Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
Bueno, pues ya está. Si sale alguna cosa, mientras que estén dando la turra aquí, sale una cosa chula allí, pues lo vamos viendo también. Ahora después repasaremos qué son todas las movidas que han ido poniendo.
Gameplay. Custom original content.
Mira cómo ve el culo. El twerking que hace.
Memes. And a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
What's up, everyone? Sydney here to bring you a little update about the future of IGN on YouTube. We've been listening to your feedback, and it seems like some of you are more into games, while others are more interested in movies and TV. So we got to thinking about it and decided, why not both? Our main channel will still bring you all the biggest news, reviews, previews, and trailers to keep you up to speed on the most important highlights. But if you only want games content 24/7, head over to IGN Games. Movies and TV more your thing? Check out IGN Movies and TV. More channels, more of the stuff you love, more IGN.
I want to thank DuckTales. I want to thank Anthony Franco's Pizzeria in Paramus, New Jersey. Really good, really garlic knots, really, is what a lot
That's right. That's right, Brian. Well, you know what? Welcome
No es
back.
menor de edad.
This is still the summer of gaming, and you found yourselves knee-deep in IGN Expo. Yes, we are jam-packed with some of the most unique games you'll see first right here on IGN.
Speaking of which, you know what I miss most during quarantine? Helping and moving friends. I just really love unpacking heavy crap and lifting it up in the air. And if you're a weirdo like me, then you probably get the sheer joy of games like Power Wash Simulator and Teardown. Well, keep an eye out in our next set of trailers for Unpacking, probably the best unpacking simulator made to date.
Sure. Yeah. You know, there's also like a bunch of other trailers in there too, Brian.
I think they're going to be
Simulador de desempaquetar cosas. Este creo que lo he visto, ¿eh?
Okay.
Uno muy cozy.
Well, let's unpack all the trailers, not just the unpacking.
Es como una habitación
right now.
Así recortada. Sí, es este. Mira qué pixel más bonito tiene. Mola muchísimo, muy relajante. Este tipo de juego me encanta. Qué maravilla. Organizando las cositas, ¿eh? Lo que no haces en tu puta casa, pues eso. Lo que no haces en tu puta casa, el juego. Qué fantasía. Es un porcino. Es un porcino. Me encanta. Este juego me encanta.
Hi, and welcome to a very quick sneak peek look at 2 Point Campus.
If you're not familiar with 2 Point games, think fun simulation management with a very particular 2 Point twist.
In Campus, you'll get to design and run your very own university.
But rather than boring courses, we're giving you the opportunity to teach your students very unusual classes.
No me
like
apetece
night.
nada jugar este juego. De hecho, me apetece hundirlo.
Chivalry, jousting, and how to walk around in that really heavy armor.
Me apetece esforzarme en que este juego fracase.
For our prospective knights. We watched a ton of live streams of 2 Point Hospital, saw what people were vibing with, and we've added a ton of new creative tools for campus that will let you build outside, create new buildings, landscape,
5 minutos,
and place
Joaquín,
trees and pathways.
Joaquín, 5 minutos fuera. Se ha puesto muy violento. Se ha puesto muy violento, Joaquín. Una duchita a Joaquín, por favor.
Straight A's. But if they don't have everything they need, great teachers, great equipment, and of course a great social life, they may fail.
It's just a super quick peek, but that's just a taste of what's to come in 2 Point Campus, which is out in 2022.
Algo después de la confe, en principio veremos algunas cosas que se nos hayan escapado. Podemos hacer alguna votación así de lo que más nos ha gustado. Y en principio no, Origen sería la última ya. ¡Ey! Vale, pero ¿qué me está...? ¿Qué? ¿Esto qué es? ¿Qué está vendiéndome? ¿Qué está vendiéndome? ¿Máquinas de recreativas para la casa, no? ¿O qué?
Salve, friend.
Carbo.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are?
Bastante Mr. Proper, el modelo.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule.
Some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do.
¿Es VR?
Are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
How is it that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
Me da un coraje cuando se ve las películas intentando hablar como latín, pero con todo el acento americano. Que te pones en... a ver, yo qué sé, de Conjuring, ¿no? Y se pone ahí a soltarle una frase en latín ahí al demonio para exorcizarlo. Pone Demonius Patrerum, Expo Ipsum. Dice, ¿tú qué hablas, payaso? No te estoy entendiendo. Satanás, no te entiende, gilipollas. Pronuncia bien.
Disciples Liberation brings tactical turn-based battles into a dark fantasy strategy RPG. Find your place in a world of endless raging war factions. Use your legacy to battle your foes, find loyal companions, and form a
Tú ves, ya estoy de puta madre, ya se me ha pasado todo. Ahora me siento mal por haberle dicho a Book y a Enoch que no, pero es que no estaba seguro de cómo me iba a ir el directo y digo, paso de hacerles perder el tiempo. A ver si mañana puedo hacer algo con ellos. Si no me odian. De hecho, mañana es cuando empieza el E3 realmente. O sea, esto de hoy es cascarilla. Voy a tener que empezar a banear la broma de la clipasa, Joaquín se ha ido, ¿se ha enfadado o qué?
Disciples Liberation. Coming soon.
Ah, no puede volver todavía.
PlayStation and Xbox.
No hay clipasa, no hay cagazo, no hay nada. Hoy es eventos.
Disciples Liberation, Unpacking, and before that was The Forgotten City, and also Unpacking.
Yeah, there's a lot of unpacking there. Now, Brian, you might remember our next game made waves when it was first announced 3 years ago, but we haven't heard a ton from the team lately. Now, with that said, the little fox who stars in this Zelda title still looks just as cute.
Akeem, I am so excited about this one. Let's check in with Tunic.
Perdón, que a veces se me olvida que estoy en directo.
Tunic has been a darling of the gaming scene for several years now, and that's been
me gusta. Lo tendría que haber puesto en la lista. El Tunic me
gusta. It's been quite a while since we first saw it, and it's still not out yet. The same demo has been making the rounds for many moons, but one-man developer Andrew Schuldice's absolutely adorable fox and his Zelda-like adventure is finally almost ready, and we got an exclusive hands-on with the all-new E3 2021 demo that's coming to your Xbox on June 15th. Here are 5 reasons why this charming fox needs to be on your radar. Tunic's old demo
bonito, me recuerda mucho el rollo del el 3D así como de maqueta que tenía el de Tourist de Switch.
As well as one dungeon, you'll encounter a number of different enemies after you find, in order, a stick, a sword, and then a shield. From simple blobs to laser turrets to a giant bone monster that, try as I might...
Anormal. Nos quejamos de los gritos de estos dos y me pegas un berrido en todo el oído. Caliebre, te puedo lamer lo que viene siendo toda la carva mientras te acaricio la barba y a la vez te susurro al oído, sí, ¿no?
Full game to come back and conquer it, but the demo makes it clear that there are going to be places that you probably shouldn't go yet, no matter how tempted you are to get.
Estáis locos de la puta cabeza, tanto unos como otros.
Speaking of which, who the heck is this fox? What is going on in this world? What does the in-game language mean, and will I ever be able to translate it? And why are there help screens in the world modeled after old school video game instruction manuals and strategy guides?
Se pregunta un americano cuando no ve inglés. ¿Qué es este lenguaje que soy incapaz de traducir? ¿Qué es este mundo?
Doesn't need to. The gameplay would be just as fun and the presentation just as compelling without them, but they're there, and they make me want to play more to uncover the answers to those questions.
Las tetórgolas están ahí para amamantar a todo el calibrista ni que quiera.
Like any good Zelda-style game, there are secrets hiding all over the place if you look carefully enough. Schuldice very politely requested that I not spoil any of them for you before you have a chance to play the demo for yourself, so I'll just say this. Put yourself in a Zelda mindset, and you'll probably have some good ideas of where to look. Schuldice told me that there are 6 secret items hidden in the demo, which means there are certainly plenty more to discover in the full game as well.
Me gusta mucho.
On this note, the new demo makes it pretty clear that you will not be completing Tunic in just one sitting. The one dungeon here has plenty of layers to it, and while you can save your progress at various shrines, doing so resets all of the monsters. So there will be a constant tug of war between taking risks to progress and playing it safe. I do appreciate how there are environmental shortcuts that open up as you go, meaning that if you die, and believe me, you will die, respawning at the last save point means you won't have to walk as far or fight through everything all over again in order to get where you're going.
Tiene un sistema de guardado en la...
clearly a big one, just like any
Tiene un sistema de guardado en la mazmorra que son un poco como las hogueras de Dark Souls, que cuando guardas se respawnean todos los bichos.
Allow me to state the obvious. Tunic looks and sounds beautiful. The simplistic, colorful visuals lend Tunic a very playful visual tone, while the serene music adds a very pleasant, calming vibe to the gameplay. The combination of the two is fantastic. Tunic blends retro and modern in both the audio and visual departments in a way that gives it a wholly unique look and feel.
Que supongo que la música no la habrá hecho, porque hay elementos del juego que siempre dicen que lo ha hecho uno, pero en realidad después la música no la hace él y tal, pero hay ciertas cosas que hacen otros. Pero cuando es que hace lo visual y el código y el guión, pues se considera que lo ha hecho una sola persona. Y esto es un trabajo del demonio. Esto es un trabajo del demonio.
For more on Tunic, don't miss more gameplay from the old demo, and for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
IGN Expo is just reaching its peak, so don't go anywhere. Right now, we've got 6 fresh trailers loaded up like a blast cartridges in a laser pistol aimed at the heart of your boredom. Because I know y'all get bored. Yeah.
Wow, they shoot a laser pistol at the heart of boredom. That's an apt metaphor, Keem. It's also really dark and slightly messed up. Anyway, our first trailer involves the show.
Falibre, te voy a hundir la cara de un beso. No me dejaron terminar de explicarme, aunque a decir verdad me dio mucha gracia decirlo, y cuando me banearon 5 minutos hasta lagrimeaba de cómo me reía.
Brian,
bésame en la boca.
I'm gonna have to poke a couple of holes in your cloud here, my boy. It actually, that's a typo. It says Stranger Things.
Oh no, that's not a typo. I just can't read. Well, anyway, let's see what the Stranger Things or Saint Ranger Things team are doing in the world of Smite. Or Smitty.
Stranger Things en Smite. Ahora soy inteligente. Vengan aquí, vengan al directo. Soy inteligente ahora. Tengo razón en todo lo que digo. Ahora ya no, pueden irse.
Like Koch, up to the party, y'all don't want smoke. Energize the body, praise up the yard right now.
Nunca he necesitado menos un juego.
Put your feet on the ground, look around, it's the siege and we back in your town, burning it down. Give you what you been waiting for now, what you praying for. This the type of you slaving for. You are now listening to the greatest.
¡Crosspollas! No quiero nada de esto. Vete a la mierda. Otro juego para Splitgate. Tengo que tener cuidado porque después me dicen, no, hola, es que yo trabajo en Splitgate. Qué bien se ve este juego, El puto Street of Rage. Y musicote además. Música modernizada, pero emula perfectamente el clásico. Mr. X Nightmare. No, este juego me flipa todo, Me pareció súper acertado el estilo cartoon que le hicieron. Igual que en las tortugas ninja, me parece súper acertado que lo mantengan en pixel. En este, el rollo cartoon fue brutal, como mejoró. ¿Esto es cooperativo? Se me pone el turbilir bastante tieso ahora mismo, con esta copia exacta de Stardew Valley. Dios. Bastante cooperativo, ¿se podrá montar un servidor de esto? ¿Is this next server? Con equipe. Se veían bastantes jugadores. Igual se puede montar servidor gordo, La liebrosa. La liebre del siglo primero. World Premiere.
Woo! Now that was the new game, Battle of the Bands. Now I can't wait for that one. That's actually being produced in
echar
part
batallas,
by
pero
the Living Tombstone. And
¿cómo se compite? Que te va saliendo flechita y tienes que darle y hacerlo así en plan japo. Con la flechita haciendo la musiquita. ¿Y así luchas contra otros o qué?
You know what? Fortunately, you can still watch ads.
Hombre, rítmico. Combate rítmico, no he visto yo ninguno hasta ahora. Ah, un autobate. Farley, apúntate, combate rítmico, eso lo peta.
Don't listen to Akeem. Don't do that. That's weird. Come on.
What,
like, how important is your job? You're going to bring your laptop to the toilet? Come on. Where do you
It's
work?
eBay. I'm trying to win something on eBay. It's an auction. Come on now. I'm trying to get a new NFT.
What are you trying to win the auction for? Grossest dude, because you already won.
Acaba de decir que quiere pillarse un nuevo NFT. ¿En serio? ¿Tan normalizado está ya todo?
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by USAA Insurance and Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths while you serve. Reach your greatest potential with Army National Guard. And by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War, exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd. And powered by Duracell Optimum, the official battery sponsor of Summer of Gaming 2021.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating.
No lo voy a seguir nunca porque me parece una mierda. Así te lo digo. Me da igual.
The best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more.
Realmente a IGN le vale todo. Todo. Le cabe todo a IGN.
Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Figura y tetas. Lo que te gusta. La historia de IGN. Tal carajo, hombre. No me gusta. Matar. ¿Te crees que es normal poniendo publicidad de ellos mismos? ¿Esa es su propia conferencia? Fatal. Eso de triste, hay que ponerla en las conferencias de los demás, no en la tuya.
Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most.
Qué guapa Emma Stone en Cruella. La amo en todas sus vestimentas. La amo muchísimo, a Emma Stone. Me encanta la mirada que tiene, me encanta la voz que tiene, los gestos que hace. Que es muy especial, tiene mucha personalidad en todo, en los gestos que hace, en todo. No llores. Es un videojuego, no llores. ¿Te imaginas? Después de haber perdido el campeonato mundial. Es un jueguito, no llores, niño.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Expo, part of IGN Summer of Gaming.
A whole summer of gaming, and we're dishing up hot.
Sí, me creo que esto es un juego. Me creo que esto es un juego. Y el que diga que esto no es un juego es un payaso de mierda y lo atropello.
All the summer stuff you love and crave that I just made up. But coming up next, we've got trailers for a Metroidvania puzzle game, a classic murder mystery, and a game where you finally get to fight Louis XVI's robot army. I hate them.
That's insane, man. You know, and we got many more on top of all of that. I mean, these developers are really, really freaking creative. Let's check them out.
Grita muchísimo. World Premiere.
That weird woman we saw when we played in the woods. She has a crooked nose with a yucky wart. It's just the long grey hair that makes her look old. But she's pretty young, actually. She owns a black kitty. She built herself a shelter out of wood and pieces of old cloth. I think it was standing on a chicken leg. It's made of gingerbread chocolate candy and a lot of icing. Or bones. She cooks in a big black cauldron over the fire. Probably bats.
Uf.
Spiders. Mushrooms. She can always smell a child.
Este juego es del COVID, creo.
You want to know if all of that was real? Well, even if it
Pandemic
wasn't,
Starter Simulator.
it certainly is now. Am I seeing things? Or did she have a hunting bow?
Coño, pues sí que ha cambiado, ¿eh? Blacktail. Bueno. No sé, tampoco han enseñado demasiado, pero... Serendi. Otro conejito.
You can feel it in the air. A fermenting thirst for revenge.
We train, we fight to push our limits. But what are yours when you have nothing to lose?
And so the sheep becomes the shepherd, culling them to this fool's paradise.
What do you dream of becoming, Soren?
The immortals of Koch will stop at nothing to preserve their immortality. Death makes no exceptions. Imagine what you could do if you were free.
You lack the conviction to do what is necessary.
Fate is not so easily broken.
Hombre, a ver, fusilada al Blasphemous. Tampoco que Blasphemous haya inventado el género, ¿sabes? Ni el rollo gótico.
You remember our deal, don't you?
Es el Dead Gambit, de hecho. Dead Gambit salió antes, ¿no? Pues Dead Gambit salió regular. Salió fatal. Este tenía muchísimas ganas de jugarlo, pero muchísimas. Oye, y me puse a jugarlo y me da un asco la vista esta desde arriba. en este juego en concreto me da un asco y no lo soporto. Porque tienes como para cultivar, para poner cositas, ¿sabes? Puedes mejorar la nave nodriza. Tiene elementos así chulos. Pero hostia puta, tío, qué asco. Sí, es cooperativo, creo recordar también. O sea, tenía muchas cosas que me gustaban. Nuevas, puedes picar, puedes craftear, puedes hacer un montón de cosas, pero simplemente necesito que la cámara, en lugar de estar así, esté así. Ya está. Con esto me pongo a jugarlo a muerte. Con esto no lo soporto. No sé por qué. Sí, pero los GTA clásicos yo los he jugado y no me molestaba. En este juego sí me molesta. La perspectiva carballera. Y me jode que eso sí que me jode que flipas. Eso sí. Porque el juego me gusta, todo lo que tiene. 1779, París, Francia.
The king left us no chance.
They were too many, too strong, and made of steel.
The fighting was too one-sided. We were slaughtered.
The machines wouldn't even let me flee.
What's this?
Paris burns and is lost, short of a miracle.
Steel Rising, primera noticia. Este no es el de Pinocho, ¿no? No, este no es, ¿no? El de Pinocho, ¿cómo se llamaba? Era... tenía otro nombre. Lies of P, eso. Estaba entre Lies of P y... Esos eran los dos nombres que manejaba. Unbound, no.
Now, you just saw trailers for Blacktail, Black Skylands, Still Rising, and Unbound Worlds Apart. Now, you can actually play that last one, the demo, right now on your Nintendo Switch.
And it's all a part of IGN Expo here on IGN Summer of Gaming. Brand new game trailers and reveals exclusively at IGN.
Yes, and in case 4 new game reveals wasn't enough for you, we have plenty more to come. And in the past, actually. That's right, y'all. Y'all need to understand. We're living in the middle of a vast time stream of trailers right now. Can you see them, Brian? Can you see the trailers? They're all around us right now, bro.
¿Qué haces?
I can, Akeem, and that's because I hit my head earlier this morning. So
Pues
yes,
hablar
we
así.
got 4 more game trailers.
I see them, Brian. The trailers, they're everywhere.
Yeah, you definitely hit your head too.
¿Eres humorista?
Time is like gravity. We are constantly falling forward.
No, no, esa frase no me convence. Ya no me gusta ese juego. Tiempo no es como la gravedad.
But then,
No digas
it all
polladas.
stopped for me. Dear Journal, it's been a while. I think. And I am still unsure why I am talking to you when I am clearly the only one listening. I guess to keep some sanity. Well, you are still stuck. If you are starting to lose it, please don't. That's the only way we can get back. I'm counting on you.
Está bien. Tiene un poco de puzzles, de exploración, así. Bien. Está bien.
Nanny?
Yes, Julia?
Martha's not here. So could I hear the story of the White Lady again?
But you always find that story scary.
El tufillo indie ese me echa para atrás un poco. Tufillo Life is Strange.
Nothing can hurt me.
Oh, all right, little one. There was once a couple madly in love who would often stroll by a lake. But one day, in a fit of jealousy...
Rusquilleta, muchas gracias por esa maravillosa suscripción. Muchísimas gracias de verdad, por apoyar el canal y ser una persona estupenda.
How can love also be so bad?
This is something you will learn with age, Poppet. The man confessed, so he was hanged in the middle of the very same lake where he had killed his beloved. They searched everywhere, but the girl's body was never found.
¡Qué hongo!
Since then, the spirit of the girl, known as the White Lady, wanders restlessly in search of relief from her eternal suffering. Only the life of another young woman can give the lady a moment of peace.
That's always terrible to hear. I'll never get used to it.
You never get used to that kind of pain, my sparrow.
Bastante Ayuwoki la cara,
But those in great pain can attempt to evoke the lady through a dark ritual and magic of the tarot. As the lady knows their suffering all too well, she could show them pity. Or she may not.
Ah, Martha's Dead. Este tengo yo muchas ganas de probarlo. Lo que pasa es que después de ver esta presentación me da la sensación de que va a ser bastante más narrativa y mucho menos jumpscare, Pero este yo lo tengo apuntado. Podría ser, sí, Ismael, si tiene cagazo fuerte, sí. Espacio encantado.
The catastrophe of 1986 was a great gift for humanity. One of the greatest.
What are you talking about?
I could tell you things that would turn your whole life upside down.
Sí,
but I don't want that.
No, Stalker, no, Stalker.
I can't have you falling apart.
No se flipen.
Don't you understand? I need you.
What are you saying?
I need you here. You're going to help me save her.
No lo he probado porque tenía variados, precisamente. Tenía muchas ganas de traerlo cagazo, pero después me arrepentí cuando vi las notas.
Chernobyl opened a door to something that will change the history of mankind forever. Forever.
Stalker debería sacar ya algo, porque si no se va a perder un poco en el olvido. Es el momento de sacar algo de Stalker. Seguro que lo sacan en Xbox.
But you have to learn the truth if you truly want to find me. You cannot succeed alone, but there are others who will help you.
¿Qué es Stalker? Stalker es una persona que se pone a mirarte por la ventana y a frotarse.
Make sure you're ready, because it will take everything you have. Your wits, your strength, your plan, your
para correr del señor que me está mirando raro. Grande calibre siempre.
Muchas gracias, Linchidae, por ese pedazo de suscripción. 10 mesazos ya, casi un añito, es verdad. Qué maravilla, cómo pasa el tiempo. Ya cada vez te queda menos para escapar de cacahuete.
Show full of great new games to look forward to. I'm hyped for each and every one of them. Now, we just saw new gameplay footage from Broken Pieces, Martha is Dead, Haunted Space, and Chernobylite. Now, I'm personally looking forward to Sifu, since Absolver was a really unique game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm personally looking forward to Bramble because I have some deep-seated issues with my dad that I need to work out.
Yeah, you know, well, we really went for, I think we went for like all killer, no filler this year with these trailers, which means you barely had to hear from us two. So you're welcome for that. And don't forget, y'all, E3 coverage starts tomorrow.
That's right. And if you're just joining us, sorry you missed the entire show. Your clock is broken or something. Sort it out. But yes, Summer of Gaming continues tomorrow with the Ubisoft Forward Conference. So be sure to join us all as we break down the biggest reveals all E3 long.
¿Veis cómo dice? Summer Game continúa mañana con Ubisoft, bla, bla, bla. No ponen nada de E3.
All happening next week. So hit up IGN.com for a full schedule. The Summer of Gaming continues as long as there's gaming in your heart and Mario in your sunshine.
Yes.
Hostia, tío, no soporto estos chistes y estas cosas, tío.
Thank you all so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day. You're awesome and goodbye.
Abajo dice 3 escrito. No lo pone en ningún sitio.
Summer of Gaming 2021 is...
Bueno, puede ponerlo, pero no lo dicen ellos. Dice Summer Gaming continúa con Ubisoft.
Reach your greatest potential with Army Now.
Hasta luego, Eruner.
And by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War. Exclusively on Prime.
Las conferencias nunca forman parte del E3 oficial. Pues yo pensaba que era todo parte del E3.
Official battery sponsor of...
Pues que no entiendo por qué lo hacen así. O sea, si tienen en un estadio las conferencias y todo está con el símbolo del E3, ¿por qué coño no forman parte?
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment.
Esto es un follón. Esto está muy mal planteado todo, ¿eh? Muy mal organizado.
Favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are.
Lo siento, pero es que me ha entrado sueño. Me han roto por ahí.
Snapchat, we've
El otro lo ha terminado ya, ¿no?
IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game, but what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the developers behind those games as they watch their hard work get completely destroyed right in front of them?
What is happening right now?
That's exactly what happens on every episode of Devs React to Speedruns. We invite you to ride along with the developers as they watch, react, and enjoy some of the craziest gameplay by the most skilled speedrunners on the planet.
Aroxito, muchísimas gracias por esa maravillosísima suscripción, gracias por esos 18 meses tremendísimos. 18 meses. Uy, se ha escapado de cacahuete. Escapar de cacahuete. Escapar de cacahuete. Una clipacita ahora, ¿no? ¡No! No hay clipasa, coño.
It's crazy. It's all here. IGN can be. God, I'm in disbelief.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and
me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here.
Venga, Mickey Dog, hermosura.
Movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
Pues terminó. Ahora sí, terminó. Carlos Sajado, muchísimas gracias por esa pedazo de suscripción tremenda. Muchas gracias de verdad por esos 8 mesazos a un mesecito de nacer en Calibristán, que es una época maravillosa donde viene el cacahuete a perseguirte y lo pasa fatal en realidad. Ha sido un poco la mierda el día de hoy. A ver, es que es como todo. Yo creo que va a ser todo un poco con la misma dinámica. Todos van a ser días de presentar mucho indie, mucho juego ya visto y poquita exclusividad. O sea, poquito exclusivo. Poquito World Premiere. Pero alguno cae. De vez en cuando alguna cosita, pues dices tú, hostia, mira qué guapo esto. Tampoco podemos esperar mucho. Ya lo dijeron, que bajásemos mucho las expectativas, que con el rollo de la pandemia y todo eso no íbamos a tener aquí una mega conferencia presentando pepinazos todo el rato. Cookie, 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 cookie. Hey, kill it like a motherfucker. No ha estado mal. Lo que pasa es que me da coraje que se hayan solapado la del Koch Prime Time con la de IGN, porque habrá alguna cosa que se nos ha podido escapar. Así que voy a revisar a ver si hay por aquí algún recopilatorio. ¿Sabéis de alguna página que tenga algún recopilatorio? Kill it like a motherfucker. Kill it like a motherfucker. Pásamelo por privado, pretty feliz. Spain's like a swing, skinning like a bro, ain't spinning like a brain. Swing, swing, have a fall, ribbon not a gate. Pain, chain, get a alla pasta in the ass. Woo! Kinda like a boat, understand life. Swing, crane, slipping like the alright. Outway, record like a bottle glass. Spend 9 better, not to sweat in. Ball, grab it slow, it be go. As to swing it out of body, getting it on a mother bowl. Ass break like a slave, at the same in the eye. And I'm a running, get restlessly out of space life. Kill it like a motherfucker. Kill it like a yeah. I kill it like a motherfucker. I kill it like a yeah. Ain't sprains left light. And I really gotta live life. And know where we gotta go. Spinning llamas, really gotta stay free, living on the outer road. Kill it like a motherfucker, strain low. Chain, motherfucker, chain. On my money, on my bro. Spain ain't got it at the right low. Kill it like a motherfucker out of Cairo. Spain crane, this on the highway. Send it on, I got it on the slide lay. With my homie, with my brother. With my homie, with my brother, Capito. Kill it like a motherfucker, Twitch. Yeah. Ese último verso se lo he dedicado a Alex. Espero que lo vea alguna vez y le haga erupción. A ver, ¿qué tenemos por aquí que me habéis pasado? Me ha pasado Juan Manuel, me ha pasado a Chicops. Juan Manuel, ¿qué me ha pasado? Un sinvergüenza. Me ha pasado la conferencia entera de Koch Prime Time. Es un zorro. Y aquí me ha mandado un canal sin conexión. Pero esto es de antes, esto es de cuando yo estaba pidiendo los canales para ver las conferencias. Pues mira, igual podemos revisar la conferencia de Koch Prime Time. A ver qué nos hemos perdido. Rápidamente, pudiendo saltar. Esa maravilla que no podíamos hacer antes. Y ahora sí podemos hacerla. Ahora podemos saltarnos las cosas que no nos interesan. Entonces, todo esto lo hemos visto. Por aquí por donde nos quedamos. Viendo este. Dios bendiga el diferido, ya ves. Esto no lo vimos. Que aquí estaban comiendo mantequita de cacahuete los aliens. Mira qué dientecitos. Muy graciosos los dientes, Diente de peluche.
That really was something, and last week Opal had a chance to talk to the developers.
Podemos pasar totalmente de todo lo que tiene que decir el developer y podemos ver el gameplay de este que nos interesa.
Game, that's gotta mean Prime Matter.
¿Viste la sub de Carlos Ajado o estoy hambriento y me desmayo? Estás hambriento y te desmayas. Sí, sí, ya se lo agradecí a Carlos Ajado. Y yo también estoy hambriento y me desmayo, Porque además, como antes del directo he potado, pues digamos que todos los nutrientes, toda la energía se fue.
An isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG scheduled for release this autumn. And this new trailer, which we're unveiling today, should give you a pretty good flavor of what the game is all about.
He potado. Por eso he empezado un poco más tarde.
But here's the skinny. We at Cronus need you. Cronus was formed after a dome-like structure was discovered 5 years ago. Was it from our ancient past? Was it made by aliens? Does it run on perfectly harmless nuclear power? We need to know, and humanity is waiting for you to help unlock its secrets. Descend into the dome itself and join one of our incredible research teams. The only question is, which wing of Cronus is the best fit for you?
Tiene un rollito, Fallout 2, que si lo hacen con gráficos como se ve así más nuevecitos, y cuidado, cuidado que me froto.
But not expect any credit for it. You sound like an engineer to us. Welcome to the Blue Wing.
No es tan malo el E3, no he potado antes de ver nada.
We've got you covered in the White Wing. Do you like taking credit for the hard work of others, but never do anything yourself? Those forms won't fill themselves. That's management, mister. And the
retrofuturista, Berkiston.
Are you a criminal, prisoner, or have no discernible skills whatsoever? Then you're coming to the Orange Wing, like it or not. Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready to make the change with us? Are you ready to love it so much that you'll never want to leave? Then join Cronus and take the second giant leap for mankind under the dome.
That's not all. Opal got to sit down with the creative brains behind Encase.
El retrofuturismo distópico. Toma una línea del pasado y crea a partir de ahí un futuro distópico en el que la tecnología a lo mejor ha avanzado más que en la línea actual.
So Encased is an old school RPG in the sci-fi.
A ver. Hostia, que después había doble porchón de chapa. Este es el del zorrito. El del Tuca ese, o Tuki. ¿Cómo se llamaba del zorro?
She's born with certain powers that make her both a pariah and a uniquely powerful individual.
Triple porchón de... Menos mal que lo hemos quitado, Ya directamente sin enseñar nada.
creative and game director Pavel Shunad, and executive producer.
Ahora, aquí enseñan algo.
Crew, and I just can't wait for people to get their
Hubiese sido insufrible.
Bye. We teased it in the sizzle, and now let's hear from our friends at Starbreeze to talk about Payday 2, Payday 3, and their upcoming cooperation with Prime Matter.
Thank you, Jeff, and hi, everyone. We're excited to be here, excited to talk about Payday, and excited to be working with Prime Matter. At Starbreeze, we see Payday as the ultimate bank robbing experience, inspired by classic heist movies, providing adrenaline-fueled gameplay where you get to experience the thrill of being on the wrong side of the law with a smart plan and a gun in your hand. This is what we've been doing since the original game, Payday the Heist, through the sequel, Payday 2, to the upcoming Payday 3. And our ever-growing player community, our heisters, continue to be an inspiration for us in everything we do, pushing us to make the best Payday possible.
The world of Payday is an exaggerated reflection of reality, where
esto no es Payday 3. Lo que están enseñando es Payday 2, ¿no?
At least until the heisters turn this order into chaos, giving the law the middle finger. That's when adrenaline truly kicks in and the outnumbered gang keeps beating the odds, often escaping with the cash in a hail of bullets. The Payday universe has an ongoing narrative that has been created over
¿Tú nunca has jugado un Payday, Farlight? Están muy guapos los Payday,
the highest profile targets, setting up some of the craziest heist plans, and going up against some of the most powerful of enemies. And through all of this, the gang keeps coming out on top.
Para jugarlo con
In
los
their
colegas,
exploits, the gang has become,
madre.
as they call it, the tightest crew ever. The wider criminal underworld of Payday lives its own life, where movers and shakers want a piece of the action, or a piece of the Payday gang. In the gang's life of crime, they are way past the point of no return.
Me estás
And as we
enseñando
look ahead
nada
to
de
what's to
Payday
come,
3.
The gang will learn.
¿Esto qué es? ¿Esto qué es? Mira este. ¿Y este
This
también?
legacy is something that we treasure and will
meten todos los
build
juegos,
on,
¿o qué?
expanding on this epic story, taking you all with us into the future of Payday. Many millions of players have enjoyed Payday so far. It's been an amazing journey for us at Starbreeze. On Steam,
El Guya salía en el
2
2.
has the biggest player community of
pero no me
any
acordaba que
game.
salía el Guya en el 2.
This truly means the world to us.
Payday turns 10 this year, but we're only getting started. With our team hard at work, cooperation with Prime Matter,